Like maybe it's just so because we like when you connect on a level like that
Hmm.
and you're speaking to someone and like you can tell that they are understanding because that's one thing that I've always like realized. Like I thought that communication was like the biggest thing,
Hmm.
but it's not really communication, it's comprehension. Like sometimes
Ooh.
you're able to talk to someone and
Hmm.
pour out your heart and they still won't hear you. They still can't
Yeah.
understand.
That's fire. Yeah.
And
And true.
yeah, so I mean, based off experiences, that's you know what I mean, like constantly evolving. And I realized that, like,
Hmm.
especially like with my ex and with people just in general. Like, for example, I've was talking to this one girl, and like I was like when you're getting to meet someone new, you kind of want them to understand who you are. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Where your head is at, what you think about on a daily. And sometimes people just can't understand where your head is at. And instead of them hearing you and comprehending what you're saying,
Hmm.
their first initial instinct is to
Kind of pull back,
pull
maybe
back or attack you or like
criticize you.
you or oh, because like for example, like you um you told me you're like you can definitely see my work ethic.
Hmm.
Bro, in
100%.
the past couple of months, I've had people tell me that all I care about is money, and I'm not even working
Hmm.
just for the money. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
like, oh, you don't know how to have fun, or da da da. Da.
Hmm.
So like that whole thing, like you'll explain someone what your plan is and thoughts is, and then they can't understand. It's
And
like
and sometimes people just don't have the energy or the curiosity enough to even try to understand. Like it's just easier for you to like save energy than it is to not waste energy, but invest energy in someone else.
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it definitely does.
Yeah.
Like for example, like you have to understand that there's people out there that want to kidnap a little girl.
Yeah.
And that's right to them. Or kill someone and that's
Mhm.
right to them. You know what I mean? And you'll go up to them and tell them like what you're doing is wrong. But they can't comprehend.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? It's just that's why I was telling you before, like consciousness to me is like I really sit down sometimes and I really think about like the world and life in general. Like
Mhm.
how people think, how they go about and about handling their own thoughts.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And I was forced to sit with my thoughts for a while.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
For
act.
8 months, you said?
Well, that was just one aspect of surgery. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
like with mental health.
Mhm.
Back in 2016, I lost a brother to suicide.
Mhm.
And before that, it's not that I didn't believe in depression. I just never felt it. Like, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? I didn't know what it was like to wake up and question or hate myself for no reason. You know what I mean? It's
And
like
feel like there's like a cloud
there's a
hanging over you all
cloud,
the
there's
time.
a weight in your heart
And you
or
can't ever like be happy, and you feel like the universe is conspiring against you. Like
yeah.
everybody. Yeah.
And recently I've felt that like a lot.
Mhm.
Like whether it was a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, I felt that a lot. And when I went through the experiences with my past relationship, I was actually, I think I felt like how my brother felt, like so alone in this world. And like I felt like no one understands until I realized that no one does understand.
Mhm.
It's like you were saying, no one is going to no one's you. No one's going to go.
Understand the full extent of what Alex went through. Of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
feel
Like
everything you felt.
I could sit here and I could tell you, look, I went 8 months inside a room and I was bedridden and I was feeling pain. You could kind of guess what that's like,
I can sympathize.
but you're not
That's
gonna.
it.
But you're not gonna understand.
Yeah.
You're not gonna have every single day, like you know what I mean. Like I
Mhm.
went through that, and it's just on a level where it's like, okay, I'm thinking like this. What am I gonna do to get myself out of here? Now?
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean. And so you can choose. You can choose your hard. You know, you could sit there and let
100%.
like I feel like when you're in a rut and when you're stuck in the same place, you can choose to stay there, which is hard, or you can choose to get out, which is also hard.
Mhm.
But it's just how bad it's affecting you, how bad you want it. You know what I mean? It's just like
100%.
a bunch of different things come into play.
Yeah. And no, like 1,000%. And also I think that there's this misconception behind what being depressed means, because I think like that word is thrown around so much nowadays. Like kids use it, and you know, like they make jokes out of it, they create memes, and it like it has lost kind of the bulk of its essence and meaning. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
have the same grave tone that it used to have at one point, or the grave tone that it deserves, and
Yeah.
the recognition and stuff. And personally, like I've also been through like pretty fucked up holes in my life. Like I've dug myself into like deep shit multiple times, and I can resonate 100%. But again, I can't fully understand it, but I can sympathize it based off my experiences. I can kind of like relate to what your experiences
Yeah.
consisted of. And it's exactly what you said. Like it's literally sitting with your demons, like having a conversation with them, you know, inviting them to the table and just facing them head on,
Yeah.
every single one, and just having a dialogue with yourself, trying to understand and pinpoint like what is the root cause, like is there a solution or not? Or you could just do what I think is easier, but ironically and paradoxically, like it's harder on you, on your soul, which is like just stay in that place and just allow them to kind of just run around you and laugh and just like point fingers at you and stuff, instead of you just like grabbing them by the neck and saying like, hey, like I'm gonna fucking like do my thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you're not gonna control me anymore.
Yeah.
And that kind of happened with the whole I don't know how familiar you are with the whole like fiber fitness journey and stuff, but like for the longest time I've been really, you know, just trying to like fight for this like dream, which I've gotten to like various points where it was just like in like a arm's reach, kind of like I was like so close to it, but then something always happens and there's always like a setback.
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of resonated with what you experienced today, which we'll get into, which was crazy, which, you know, you got into a car accident on your way here. And then your Instagram story, like I resonated so much, and I just kind of like felt your pain to an extent. I was like, oh, like, because you said that like God must hate me and stuff. Even if it comes off like kind of jokingly or whatever, I do think that that's a very poignant like point in the whole depression thing. It's like you feel like everything is
just it's just always happening.
Everybody
to you.
hates you. Yeah,
it's like no matter how good you do or how hard you work, it's just always you.
And you're close, but you're never close.
But the
enough.
thing that with all the experiences, the thing that I realized is that when life pushes you, you gotta be able to push back. And that's when I feel like you'll achieve your goals and get to a point in life where you'll be more like prone to, like, when these things happen, you can go about it a better way. Like, for example, the accident happened, like you brought up. I could have been a dick to the lady. I could have been an asshole. I could have cried about it. I could have not came. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I got here. We're making jokes about it. I'm not even, honestly, I wasn't even thinking about it now. It's just like things are gonna happen in life regardless. It's just your mindset of how to go about it. You know what I mean? Like, okay, it's not like I did make a joke about it, but it's not. It's to me, it's not anymore. Like, why is this happening to me? It's like, what is this trying to teach me? You know what I mean?
This happened. I'm here now. Like, what do I take away from it to move forward, kind of thing?
What can I do differently to affect me? Not as much as so like in a worse way, or like teach me more. You know what I mean? So it's like, that. Honestly, I kind of forgot that I even got into a car crash today. Yeah.
No, see, and that's something that like I think that that's a valuable skill that most people don't really learn. Is something bad happens to you and that should be it. Like, it happened. Like, what are you, like, it's super cliche to say like, oh, like you can't cry over spilled milk, you know, like, but that's just the fact of life. Like that shit happened. It's on the floor. Like, you could either cry about it, like you said, or you could, you know, punch a wall, you could, you know, kill someone, you could go whatever. Like, and then it ties back to like what you said about everybody has their idea of what's right, of what's wrong. And you can't, you know, bring a horse to water. You can't force it to drink the water. It's like everybody has their, I think, speed in life in terms of like learning and accepting
and growing.
things.
And
growing. Like, you can't force and push people off a cliff and expect them to fly. Like, that's not
like
I
used to have I had a friend who his dad was always like trying to teach him with words, and like he would go about it like the wrong way, whatever. But at one point he told his dad, like, maybe you're right. Maybe this is not good for me. But until I go through it and learn and experience it, I'll learn through that way. I won't learn it the same way you are as if you're just telling me it. You know what I mean? Like, I could tell you right now, like, Kelly, don't get hooked onto drugs because you're going to go down this wrong path. Like, you'll know that it's wrong. But like, if you go through it and now you're hooked onto it, you're beating your wife or whatever the case may be, like it's leading you to even
worst places.
worst places,
Yeah.
then you're gonna think back like, holy shit, I would have never known it was gonna be like this if I didn't experience it. Like if I just said, all right, drugs are wrong, yeah, you know the drugs are wrong, but the experience is gonna teach you on a whole nother level. Like, okay, these drugs can fuck with your brain.
That's what
They
really teaches you.
yeah. I think that pain is like one of the best teachers.
100%.
Like
Yeah.
after everything that I've dealt with, I honestly, if I could go back and change it, with the way that am now, I probably wouldn't. Obviously, like it sucks to say that because everything happens for a reason. But like my brother passing molded me so much that I feel like if I didn't lose my brother, I would probably like not be half of what I am now. You know what I mean? It's like so, and like you said, the back thing and like going through those surgical injections and doing all those things, those taught me so much. It taught me peace. It taught me patience. You know what I mean? Like obviously I had to go through it. And then like I was constantly asking why me, why now, why this, why that. But then when I was over it,
you understood why.
I understood why. I understood I understood what it was trying to teach me. I understood how I could better myself mentally to avoid like, you know, the repercussions in the end. Like it hit me crazy. But, you know, like you said, like everything happens for a reason and those experiences are gonna stick with you and mold you and make you who you are. You know, like
and I believe that again, you would not be the person you are now. And also, I don't know if you believe in like universal timing. I don't know if I believe in destiny per se, because I'd like to believe that we're in control of what happens tomorrow, that we're in control. But a lot of people maybe
that's an interesting topic.
Yeah, like attribute God as like the person who controls your like people's destinies, controls the future, controls the weather, controls COVID. Like it's all in God's will. But I don't know if I believe in like destiny, if I'm being honest.
Honestly, now that you put it like that, I don't think so either. Because like it's so hard. It's like, damn, that really put things into perspective for real.
Right?
I think, I don't know if I believe in destiny like that. Like, because if you really think about it, then there will be a whole book about what's going to happen to me, right?
Yeah.
But
and then like you may die on chapter 45 and then Joe dies on chapter 8 and it's like
yes. I don't know. I don't know. It was just going back into like the belief thing. It's like I feel like it's so hard for someone to sit here in front of me and tell me 100% this is how this is how the story is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can't sit here as a Christian and be like, no, Callie, I'm telling you 100%.
I know the truth. I have the answers.
I have the answers. God
listen.
spoke to me and this and that. You know what I mean? Because it's so hard to just, it's hard for me to accept, like for me to, one thing about me is like, for me to understand religion is like, you have to be 100% in tune with it. Like your mind, your body, your soul, you have to like really be
kind of like give yourself to it.
Fully with it. And there's nothing in this world, no belief, that makes me feel like that. So I know for a fact that I don't have a belief because I feel like that. I feel like I'm always questioning something. And if you're questioning something, then you don't believe.
Do you think that that's like more like, do you think that religious people, and I'm not saying this to like throw any religious people under the bus or anything like that, but do you think that being a religious fanatic has to do with like a genetic predisposition that makes you more like you have to, I think to an extent, be more submissive in nature, just like you said, like you can't really like be a person who thinks outside of the box and questions stuff because that goes against religion.
That goes against it.
Like dogma is like, here's the 10 commandments. You know, like here's the Bible and everything's like, you know, it tells you what to do, so you have to follow. You don't go outside of the Bible, you don't go outside of the box.
And if you do, then you're against it.
And if you do, you'll go to hell, right?
Yeah.
So do you think that has to do with like a predisposition, or do you think it's like nature versus nurture? Do you think people are kind of morphed by society to kind of adopt that? Or do you think that people, even before society approaches them, they already have that predisposition to want to like believe in something and maybe even be like a fanatic or like a dedicated fan? You know?
Yeah. I think it's kind of like something inside of them that kind of gives them like makes them like feel better. It's like the reason it's like coping with life.
It's a
Kind of.
comfort.
It's a
right?
comfort. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like it helps them get by, and you know what I mean. But there's no doubt in my mind that there's probably still that little doubt in the back of their mind. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. For me, at least, I feel like because there's this guy. He used to work at my job. He was a pastor for 25 years. Great guy. Awesome. We sparked when I used to work midnights, you know, those 3 a.m. conversations.
Yeah.
We used to have those all the time. And I had questions for him, and sometimes he didn't have the answer. So
you kind of like cornered him and shit. It's like,
yeah. So if you're sitting in front of me telling me that 100% this is what's the truth, and I'm asking you a question you don't know, then 100% you don't know 100%.
You don't know. Yeah.
So it's like it's really hard for me, man. Like I'm so open-minded, and there's so many. I wouldn't say they're like thesis. To me, they're just questions. Like there's so many different questions in my head that like, yeah, I think about like, wow, life is really like the fact that I don't know what's going to happen after I die is.
Do you ever find yourself just going down a rabbit hole in terms of like, I'll sometimes be driving, I'll be doing whatever it is, and I'll just catch myself kind of going down this route where the more I go down it, like the worse it gets kind of. I don't know how to really put it into words, but basically like I started thinking, I'm like, all right, I'm going to die one day. And then what? Which is like a common question, and like people ask themselves that all the time, but I just start feeling like this like low-key panic, but also this low-key like reassurance that like, oh, like everybody's going to die.
Yeah.
But then what? Like, am I just gonna like, is everything gonna be black? Am I gonna just rot underground? Am I gonna feel the larvas eating at my body? Am I gonna like, what's gonna happen? I don't know. Like, where do you know
are you familiar with the show Supernatural?
Yeah, with the 2 ghost detectives.
Yeah.
My cousin in Brazil was a huge fan, and I used to watch it sometimes when I went to my grandma's
they
house.
have like, so the show is awesome. I'm like, I love the storyline. It's fucking awesome. My brother was like really into it, and so when he passed, it kind of like it gave me more of a reason to watch it and be like one with the show, kind of, because like it brought me memories, and
it brought you closer to him.
Yeah. Like I have a keychain, and the angel that's in that show, my brother used to kind of nickname himself after that angel, and so I have the keychain of that angel. But the whole storyline it was well written, but it sparks questions. Like, wow, that could be a possibility. You know what I mean? So like, for example, the universe is huge.
Infinite.
Huge. Right? Infinite, yeah. And
whatever that means.
So I know. So the cosmos were always so intriguing to me. I was always like, I would look up and I would just like look at the stars or, you know, whatever. And I would wonder like, okay, what if I think there's life out there? I don't think
aliens.
Aliens per se. Yeah,
me too.
I don't think that we're the only ones in this universe, and I don't want to call it reincarnation. Like I said, I don't have a belief, but it's just like really like what ifs, kind of. You know what I mean? I have so many of those that sometimes I fall into a rabbit hole, like how you said, of me thinking like, oh, that could.
What if overthinking?
Yeah. You're just in your head, and you're thinking like, okay, what if I die and I do go to hell? That's scary. What if I die and I go to hell and that's true? Or what if I die and I'm reincarnated
into a squirrel or something?
Because like I said, it's life. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not what I believe, but it's like, what if that's true? It's scary, and you just constantly keep asking yourself these questions. And I feel like because you're just constantly like asking yourself, you just dig a deeper hole. So for me, I just live life, and we'll find out when it comes. You know what I mean? But
and not like get in your own head kind of and just be paranoid. So you believe in, I think they call it the singularity. No, singularity is merging with AI, I think. It's collective consciousness, I guess. It's that we all kind of share something that's deeply innate, but we can't really tap into it. So like I share a similarity with like a bird, a squirrel, and that squirrel knows it to an extent, but they're like in their own way.
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it, but like we're all like kind of interconnected.
I watched this documentary, right? And there was this guy talking about how like it's kind of reincarnation, but like it's basically like you have to live every single possible outcome on Earth before you can advance on.
I've heard about that.
And it's like you have to be a killer, you have to be a mom, you have to be.
That's super freaky.
So it's like, what if that's true? You know what I mean? Like, because like, think about it. Like, in 100 years, none of us are gonna be here, but there's gonna be humans roaming this planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're in advance, and it's gonna keep going on and on and on and on, whatever, right? But like, so what is mine and your purpose, right? And if you think about it like that, really, it's like it puts it into a whole nother perspective of like, okay, so if I'm just put here to be Alex, and Alex, what does Alex do? He went through a rough childhood and he grew up. He was a fine young man. He spread positivity in life. That's all his purpose is. I feel like maybe that could be true, that belief of like,
maybe that is enough for Alex, let's say. And then
it's crazy. Like I'm saying, like, because we're getting in topic of like all that stuff, there's another like question that I ask, like life, right? What stars are what give us life on Earth, right? But a star is a massive fucking plasma, fucking whatever, you know what I mean? Like
ball of energy.
A ball of energy dispersing out into, you know what I mean? So what if like, you know how like it keeps growing and we're made of it? What if like when we die, we're like feeding energy? Ooh. You know what I mean? And like, because like, if you think about it, I'm very into like the cosmos and stuff like that. At billions and billions of years from now, the sun is gonna expand, so a red giant
explode or something.
And Earth is not gonna be here no more. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. There's just so many questions in my head where I'm like, wow, it's I can't fathom it. Like there's just so many questions. Like,
did you ever see? So there's this one video that I always go back to whenever I'm having like an existential crisis, just to make it worse. You know, like I'll just click on it because I deliberately want to like sabotage myself, and I'll just click on it. Essentially, this video it's like a fairly long video. It's like 15-20 minutes long, and there's this guy like narrating everything, and it's beautiful. You know, like it's like this guy narrating basically how the world, like everything we know, is going to cease to exist at one point.
Yeah. Is it like a journey to the end of time?
I think so. It's like two black holes kind of like meet together, and then they kind of like dance around each other, and then like the universe, like the expansion and the expansion of space starts like making this rippling noise that kind of resembles music, and then that's how the universe ends. It just ends in a song. And
I think it might be the same video.
It might be.
It might be. Because I watched so many of those. Like,
oh, me too. Like, I'll go down like rabbit holes. Just like I told you, I'll spend hours and hours just watching one video, then I'll watch the other one. And speaking of cosmos, like, is that why you're into like Rick and Morty and stuff? Because of just
fucking Rick and Morty is like the best. Like, it's funny as fuck, but the way that there's a book about Rick and Morty that they actually touch on actual.
I know what book that is.
Yeah, they touch on actual like questions that scientists are thinking are like dealing with nowadays. Obviously, like the interdimensional time travel shit is probably impossible.
Multiverses maybe is
probable.
I don't know.
But I think the multiverses could be a possibility, bro. Like you really look at it like
there's like an Alex right now that's maybe doing the same podcast, but like saying something different.
There's this video. And I've watched it over like 15 times. I showed it to my brother. My brother was fucking like, yo. One time he was
flipping out.
Yeah. One time he hit me up like, yo, what was that video that you showed me? I gotta show my girlfriend. Like, it's crazy. How big the universe is insane. Just the amount of stars that there are in the Milky Way and the Andromeda, and then there's like billions of galaxies. So if there's millions and billions of stars in one galaxy, and there's millions and billions of galaxies, the possibilities of
my brain just kind of farted right now. Honestly, it just let out a little fart. Like,
actually on Twitter today, there was like this real nice photography of like this telescope zooming in just to the Andromeda galaxy, and it's just dots of how many stars there is, and it zooms out, and it's like so small, and there's billions more when it keeps zooming out. And so like I think that there could possibly be another Callie, another Alex, or maybe like Callie and Alex, but not in human form. form, or I don't know. It's just like, you know what I mean?
Ooh.
Like, it's just crazy. Like the amount of
Oh.
possibilities that there could be. I think of it and I just let it sit in my brain and I just continue questioning. It's like,
What do you think about dreams? Because I have this theory,
mm,
like this personal theory of mine about dreams, where I believe that, like, what if dreams are just a brief preview or a brief like teaser or trailer of like another life being lived simultaneously in another universe?
mhm.
And then whenever you go to sleep, and like that's why you sometimes feel like lucid dreaming is when you're in control and you feel like gunshots and you feel fire and you feel yourself falling. Maybe you're witnessing a death of a part of your soul that's kind of living another simultaneous life in another universe, and that is the death of Alex. So like when you're falling off a building, you actually fell in one timeline, but then you're only feeling it through a dream. So that's your way of, I don't know, like maybe that's your soul showing you like, hey, like part of me has died off.
Yeah.
Does
So
that make
it's
sense to you?
no, it does
I don't know.
because I actually used to lucid dream.
A lot?
I from like So my brother used to do it, and my brother actually used to write down his dreams.
Ooh,
As soon as he woke up,
like a dream journal.
yeah. As soon as he woke up,
Yeah.
because you forget like your dream
Mhm.
within like the first 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So he used to actually have journals of his dreams. And so like I used to do heavy research when I was like 12, 13 about lucid dreaming. And then one time I actually tried it
Mhm.
and I didn't lucid dream. All I felt was the sleep paralysis part of it.
Ooh, that's scary.
Then I just really wanted to lucid dream. I like the thought of like being able to do whatever I wanted was like enough for me. I was like, I really want to do it.
Mhm.
So I kept trying, and it took me forever to actually do it. And it's crazy because now I haven't done it in a while. But if I sleep on my back, I'll lucid dream without even trying.
And you don't have to take anything like
I don't have
any
to.
like supplements or anything like that?
No, I just lay on my back, and because I was so used to in the like doing it, because when you lucid dream, you have to get into like the perfect relaxation. Like you have to be
Mhm.
like when you start, like when you stand completely still. I used to do it with like people talking on YouTube, but then
Mhm.
I stopped using that because I was able to just get in bed, lay down, and be able to fully relax and breathe in and out, and like
Mhm.
so. I had a bad experience one time, and I stopped doing it, and that dream was crazy to me. It was crazy because what happened was the reason why I used to lucid dream is because I never like had much, and like
Mhm.
like life was always like
Yeah.
a bitch. So
Mhm.
when I was lucid dreaming, I used to get to do what I want. I would play hockey whenever I wanted. I would fly onto space and do whatever, like, you know what I mean? So one day, for some reason, I felt this like it wasn't like I couldn't see it, but I felt like there was an entity like following me.
Mm.
And no matter what I did, I felt like something over me. Maybe it was like depression that you're talking about, black cloud
Yeah,
over you. It
yeah.
was like that, but in a dream. And lucid dreaming, um, is supposed to be like you control it.
Mhm.
And in that particular dream, that
You
I
didn't have
wasn't in
control.
control. I
Mm.
felt like I was possibly gonna die.
Ooh.
So I felt like this heavy, like I don't know what it was, honestly, because I never saw it. So what happened was I was trying to like run from it, and I was running for hours. I felt like I was running for hours, and it wasn't even like in places that I was comfortable with. It wasn't like I was in Newark or whatever. I was just running through places I've never been before. I
Like
can't even
random.
really, random shit. And like I get to this point where I just fall off a cliff and I just keep falling. And when I hit the ground, but I didn't die, but I felt the pain. And like when I looked up and got up, I just seen this scary ass face and I woke up. And when I woke up, I was in sleep paralysis still. I couldn't move. I was sweating bullets like
I
crazy.
just
I'm
got
talking about,
chills all over.
bro, it was crazy. And this was when I was like 16, 17. And then a year goes and my brother passes. And then like when that happened to me, I felt that cloud again. I felt like something was like, you know what I mean? That heavy heart again. Like
Mhm.
it was similar to my dream. I told you I never felt depression before him
Mhm.
passing. So then like I never wanted to lucid dream again. And I get like scared from even trying, honestly.
Oh my god.
Like one time with like my ex or whatever, I was just laying down and I was laying down on my back and I didn't want to fall asleep, but I was tired as hell. I had like a 13-hour shift, whatever. And I started getting into sleep paralysis. And I was telling her, like, wake me. I was trying to tell her to wake me up, but I was in sleep paralysis. So I couldn't move. I couldn't think. And I was trying to say, like, wake me up, but I couldn't. And next thing I know, like I got out of it. I didn't lucid dream. I just sleep paralysis. Like I was
Oh
just
my
in sleep paralysis.
God.
But those things, like, I don't know. It's weird because, like how you said, it could be you getting in touch with another spiritual side, or you know what I mean. You could be touching on a side that you never even knew existed.
Or maybe you could even be like facing some like part of yourself that maybe needs to be addressed. It's like, for example, right? The whole idea of like demons, like people take demons too literally, especially from like the religious sense. Like they think that demons are like these like horned beings and whatever it is. But I think that demons can be something deeper. I think it could be a part of yourself that has maybe morphed into like this quote unquote evil essence of like a former self or something like that. So like that thing that was chasing you, maybe it's, I don't know, like maybe it could be something trying to communicate with you, being that it happened before the tragedy involving your brother.
Yeah.
It could be, and then it happened again after, and it could be just, I don't know, like something communicating with you, something trying to maybe, I don't know, man.
It is weird
like,
because look, here's another thing. My mom, she had her dad pass. Before her dad passed, she had this dream that all her teeth fell out.
Dreaming about teeth, right?
She told me this years ago.
My mom's the same way with
But
dreams.
yeah. So she had like a nightmare, and all her teeth fell out, and then like a couple of days later, a week, I think it was a couple of days actually, her dad passed. So it was like, so yeah, dreams are crazy, but that it goes back into what we were talking about, consciousness. Like like humans themselves, it's like so complex, like so intriguing. So like so many questions to how we came about. Like for example, history. Like how do we not know how we evolved, how we came about?
Yeah, we don't know.
So it's weird.
It's scary.
Sparks a lot of questions.
Would you ever integrate yourself with like AI and stuff? Like if 50 years from now someone approached you, knocked on your door and said, "Listen, Alex, for $5,000, and let's say you have like $10,000 saved up, like ready to like burn."
Yeah.
And that person says like, "Hey, like so there's this opportunity for you to kind of integrate with a robot, and what we'll do is we'll download your consciousness and what we learned and found out and discovered to be the essence of the human soul into this robot, and so you'll still be you and you'll still be in control, but you'll never die. So you'll be infinite because we're going to download your consciousness, and we figured out a way to encrypt it." And so that like, would you do that? Or because look, like that ties into the whole question about like immortality, right? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, would you want to live forever? Would you want to live in a different body? Would you want to
I think immortality is scary.
It's frightening to me.
Yeah, I honestly think like I probably would say no. Because it's a scary world. Like, I can barely 23 years and I'm already like, having all these thoughts, and like imagine you're here for 300 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you go about and you see like,
especially if everybody you love like
dies, they don't get to be able to, you know what I mean?
They don't get the same opportunity.
It's kind of like not at peace anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You're kind of like imprisoned in a way because you're immortal, but everyone's dying off. Nothing is the same. You're constantly changing. You're around everything that's changing, and you're like, I have a question for you. If aliens came down right now and said, we're gonna let you know everything, but we're gonna take you.
Take me where?
Wherever they're going, or away from Earth. Would you you're gonna know everything? You're gonna know how humans came about. You're gonna know what happens in the afterlife, or you know what I mean? You're gonna get to know if there's time travel or whatever.
Would I be able to ask them where they're taking me and why they're taking me and what they're gonna do with me? Or they're just saying like, listen, like you, like in order for you to discover it, you need to leave the Earth right now. And then
yeah.
Fuck. Oh fuck. Are we talking about like aliens, like those big-headed, kind of like black-eyed, kind of like Asian-looking aliens?
I think
like small people type of thing.
You know what's crazy? Because like I watched this documentary. I think it used to be on Netflix, and I think I'm pretty sure that they said there's already like over 150 species of aliens discovered.
Oh yeah, like microsystems, like
yeah.
germs,
Just
bacteria floating in space.
Because technically speaking, anything
like that is alien.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess you can say, but it's like they're intelligent as fuck. They're like, yeah, I guess you can, because everyone portrays them as like the little small guy. The gray, they're called the gray aliens.
So they're an advanced people, right? I would,
because here's what's weird to me. Like I 100% think there's aliens. But if you like with the evidence that we have, it just catches me. It like for example, hieroglyphics. There's always like a specific image of a UFO, like
right
in Mexico, and how is there a specific image all the way in South Africa when we
never, like Italian Renaissance paintings, like angels depicted, you know, as like these like flying sources of light and stuff. And like, see, to me, aliens are deeply entangled with whatever religious, like every religion I think is based off of aliens. And that's like a personal belief. It's like every painting you see of angels flying in the sky, ancient China depicted like dragons, like fire-breathing dragons flying through
Egyptian
the sky,
with the gods with the big heads and stuff.
Exactly, like bird heads. Like it's their way of making sense with their limited reasoning, and not saying that they're less people than we are now. I'm sure they were extremely intelligent. Maybe they knew stuff that we will take forever to like understand or learn. But the point is, like, that was their way of like making sense of it. It's like, oh, like these beings are like flying and stuff, so they must be birds. Like their heads are birds or whatever. Yeah. Because it's just so strange. So like whenever I see those like hieroglyphics, I see ancient Greek paintings and just rustic, whatever it is, like ancient stuff. Because I'm a huge fan of like the show Ancient Aliens.
Yeah.
And like every single like that show's super captivating because I can find myself just going down like a rabbit hole, but they make it seem like it's just obvious, you know. Like they like create this narrative where it's like how did I not see that? Like,
how could I not believe? You know what I mean?
It's like super. Did you ever watch that Roswell? Not Roswell, but they have like
it's in Mexico. It's like is that the one you're gonna talk about?
They have a video of an autopsy of an alien.
Yeah, where it's like the crash in Mexico.
I think it's related to that. Yeah, it's like 1957 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then after that point, our technologies kind of just blew up, like just advanced or catapulted, where there was like this crazy advancement in so little time, and then everybody's trying to make sense of it. But it was around the Roswell crash.
What ties into that is like technology, bro.
Technology is crazy.
Fucking wild.
Yeah.
Like just like 500 to 1,000 years ago. We didn't like how did we come about to get a fucking telephone that can communicate across the world? You know, that's fucking crazy.
Yes.
It's crazy. I always think about that too.
And don't you think that if you were the president of the United States and you found out that aliens existed and you were put in a room, like a conference table, and you sat down across from an alien and the alien communicated telepathically or whatever the fuck, and it said like, listen, we will share information about our technologies if you allow us to abduct a few of your fellow humans for research and stuff. What? I would be like, really? Like, bet? Like,
hell yeah, go ahead. Take more. Like, you want 10? I'll give you 50.
I'll give you 10. Listen, like, you could get whatever human you want and we'll just cover it up. I 100% think that there's like a secret deal going on.
Yeah. Like Area 51. You know how they, like, there's a documentary of how, like, aliens live down there. Like there's like this secret base
that they're working alongside humans.
Yeah.
To like create aircrafts and shit.
What's great? Did you see that one video? It's like a fucking object flying over the sea.
I saw that.
On there.
Yes.
Yeah.
And apparently there were various objects similar to that. Like there were 9 of those, and then they just were able to capture that one that kept like hovering above. It dipped inside the ocean. I think the ocean could be the the place for
maybe a base or some shit. You know what I mean? Because we've only, what is it, like 2% that we've explored of the ocean, something like that. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like we
don't know what's down there, honestly.
That's a whole other thing, man. It's fucking crazy.
What do you think about this theory? So this theory I made up when I was shit-faced drunk with my friends in Brazil, actually, during my last trip there. I think 2018. We were all just like gathered around the table and stuff, and I just started like talking, and it kind of made sense. And to this day, I kind of think about it. What if? Do you know how we have our 5 senses?
Yeah.
you know, and we're kind of limited to those five senses, so we can't really assimilate anything that requires any other sense because we don't know of any other sense.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
we could like bats can fly by, you know, just
Like
like
the
sonar
sonar.
thing.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So like
Same
that's
thing with dolphins. They can
dolphins.
locate where what is because of the sound coming back to them. Yeah,
Exactly. So like that's like a more enhanced sense, but it's still like similar to the senses that we have, which is sound and like hearing. But my point is, what if aliens, or what if right now that we're sitting at this table, there's another civilization of humans, but these humans are far more advanced than we are, and they've already lived for millions of years more than we have.
Mhm.
And these humans have lived so long that they kind of, again, Darwinism, they kind of left behind the five senses that we have now, and they acquired five new ones, more advanced ones, right? And then now they're living right now, like there are like maybe, you know, like spaceships or like cars or like these beings are walking through us right now. They can't see us or feel us or hear us, or like we don't exist for them and they don't exist for us, and we're just all like coexisting on the same planet at the same time in the same space, but neither of us communicate or see each other because we're like limited to our own senses.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And then what if like Earth is just that? It's like it's this like layered thing of like, I don't know, like of like different realities going on at the same time.
Yeah.
You think that makes sense?
That's wild. It could be a possibility. Like I said, that like you just open up a whole new like rabbit hole for me. Maybe I'll go home and fucking start thinking about it.
Because I thought about that for a while, like that shit. I don't know.
Because here's the thing, scientists, right? Like there's just I don't know I forget what it's called, but it's like nothing is real. Like they say like like you're sitting on your chair, but you're not really sitting. You're technically like like if you zoom in so microscopically, you're not really sitting. Like you can't really touch anything, and it's like, have you ever heard of that about that or anything? So like, science has always been intriguing to me. Like math and science were like always like my favorite subjects in school. But like, yeah, I forget what it is exactly. But like that it's kind of like what you're talking about, like senses and whatever. It's like it's weird because like they're saying like, all right, so everything is made up of atoms, right? And it's like if you zoom like space and all that stuff, like everything, if you zoom in to like
one individual
atom, they're not really touching and stuff like that. So it's like kind of like it's like a misconception of.
So everything is a lie.
Yeah. Basically, that's what it's like. I forget what it's called, man. I forget what it's a theory. I forget what it's called, but it's crazy.
It's basically it's only your perception of the thing happening makes it happen in your head for your individual experience.
Exactly. It's so weird, man. And it's like it just like it opens you up to so many more like whoa, like you know what I mean?
Interesting one.
Yeah. We could go on and on forever. Like
so
it's crazy.
So where do you think the Illuminati falls into all this? Just like a quick like seamless segue right there. Like Jay-Z, like what do you think? And you could tie this into like the music industry too, because I kind of want to get into that with you. Like, what do you think about it and stuff?
Oh man,
like what is the Illuminati for you?
It's a society that controls the world, man. It's basically they know it. They basically know it all. Everything that everyone wants to know, they know. Kind of like, you know what I mean? It's like,
and they know that because they have contact with otherworldly beings or
otherworldly beings. It could be like
demons, like Satanism.
It could be, yeah. It's so they're a cult basically, right? And they rule the world because whatever they want to happen, they'll make it happen somehow.
They control the media.
They control the media, movies, whatever, like songs. And it's weird because like everything that they believe in is like it's great. It's evil. Like it really is. Yeah. It really is. But they know so much that they don't think like us. You know what I mean? Like us humans.
Okay.
We're so in like vacation, drinking, and
limited into like this like these crowd mentality.
Yeah, these people are thinking about like the world, and if it's going to become overpopulated, they're thinking about years from now. They're not thinking about the now. And it's like it's weird because it's a whole system. You know what I mean? And I would never like if you asked me right now, you can ask me like if someone walked into this room, Men in Black, whatever it is, it's like, you guys are gonna be rich. You know, you're gonna be whoever, like whatever you want, we'll give to you, but you're gonna be alone. You know what I mean? You can know all the secrets and all these things like that. I think it's like you have to be away from the world, because they're not like us. It's like it's really
have to
weird.
be like isolated.
Isolated, yeah. It's like, for example, I used to watch so many documentaries. My brother actually was the one that put me onto it. I used to watch so many documentaries about it, and it's like there's just so much evidence to not believe that it's like that it's fake. You know what I mean? Like there's just so many like music videos that'll have these subliminal messages in the background, and songs that'll have, because there's this thing in your brain when you listen to a song, you'll kind of like have it replaying in your head without you wanting to. There's certain things in your brain, like chemicals and stuff, that it releases that triggers it, and you're gonna replay it in your head. You're gonna say it out loud,
and you're gonna be influenced by it.
And you're gonna be influenced by it, and you're spiritually and in every other way, you're kind of giving into them. You know what I mean?
You think that that's what spells are? Like that maybe music is a form of spell?
Definitely.
Because spells in the old-fashioned way of looking at it, you know, like you have the witches and you have like witchcraft or whatever, and they have like these chants in Latin or whatever it is. But maybe that's the genius behind the music industry, is that they figured out a way to disguise these spells in a way that just is like openly received by the population. And there's the whole idea of like idols and just kind of just, I don't know, just like cherishing like people.
If like Illuminati is smart, because they know if Cali is able to be in front of a camera and he's able to influence 1 million people just by doing what they want them to do, that's their way of getting 1 million followers.
Of course, yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, but it's scary, man. Like the whole Katy Perry, even Eminem's like one of my idols, like it's greatest of all time for me. And there was a time where Eminem was like going on songs and babbling crazy shit, like, 'cause he sounded crazy. And he openly admitted that he sold his soul.
Rain Man, right?
Rain Man. Yeah. Rain Man. It's just a bunch of, even with
50 Cent.
Well, there's a bunch of them, but like Eminem was intriguing because he would have the dark voice in the back, and you know what I mean, like portraying the devil and all these different things and stuff like that. So it's like, it's crazy. Like, how could you listen to that and be like, art? It's
just art.
It's just art. Yeah, you know, he just like openly said that he sold his soul. And
which something I never understood is like, why? Okay, like you could claim and say, all right, so that's just an artistic choice. He does that for clicks or views, or it's a publicity stunt, or he's, you know, just willingly going against the tide and just kind of trying to touch the wound of like religious people and trying to get them, you know, polarize society, because that means that you have an impact on all sides is when you polarize. And that's kind of what like Trump did, and that's what politicians do. That's what, you know, whoever wants to really influence and get into people's head, be it positively or negatively, like you have to be polarizing. So you have to be like one-sided and just like move in one direction. So that way you'll gain the fellowship of the people who resonate with it, and you'll gain enemies who hate it. But either way, you're
still capturing
their, like, energy.
Yeah. You're still you're capturing their attention. And
so you could claim that, but then at the same time, like I'm of the same belief. It's like, why this focus on Satanism? Like, why religion? Like, what is going on? Like, why does every artist that I respect and that you respect, like they all have songs that kind of pay homage to the devil, that kind of like just I don't know.
And then the rappers that try to get out of it, you see their lives are completely like fucked up. They're tortured, basically.
And then that's when I think that they resort to like drugs and stuff, because just like you said, like they're isolated in their world and they can't, because I think that they get you like this, like they turn to you and say, oh, like if you put the secret out, we're gonna have to kill you. And then some rappers are kind of like, all right, like fuck it, like I don't care about my life anyways. But then they'll also say like, oh, and then we'll kill every single person you love. And we'll torture them and make sure that they suffer and insert like this. I don't know. And then that's how they trap you into that like kind of dogma and kind of like sphere of just influence.
That's crazy.
And I think that that's kind of what happened to like Mac Miller, honestly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I hate to say this because a lot of people are gonna hate me for saying this, but I think Ariana Grande kind of sacrificed him.
Dude, I saw that. It was like the whole numbers of when, right? It was like
and the picture that she took last of him is like a submissive pose. So he's kind of like looking up at her and he's barefoot. And then I watched the video, YouTube video that was like 10 minutes long, just breaking down that picture, and it blew my mind.
Wow.
Like,
I want to see that fucking video.
That person was like explaining how Ariana's like point of view was like deeply embedded in this like Satanist kind of ritual where it's like this is what the sacrificed lamb has to be, kind of like innocent and like barefoot and just like naked and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like I don't know, like
the dates also played a major role. Like you know what I mean? I don't remember specifically what the reasoning was behind it, but that same what you're talking about is like I'm pretty sure it's probably the same one. It was like a fucking 20-minute video or whatever. But probably. Like yeah. And the guy was explaining it was so much, and I was like, holy fucking shit, that's wild. That's wild. And Mac Miller is just one of those people. You know what I mean? It's like Michael Jackson was another one. You know what I mean? Yes. Like Michael Jackson
too. Like all these people.
Yeah.
But Michael Jackson is a weird. Do you think he's still alive, or do you think he faked his death? Like, what do you think about that? Because that's another one that YouTube is full of videos about Michael Jackson, and you could go out on a marathon of just videos showing him being escorted through the helicopter, and then there's like this hidden footage of the ambulance arriving at the hospital where he was pronounced dead on the way to the hospital, and then there's footage of Michael Jackson stepping out of the ambulance. There's footage of him in Paris shopping in like a jewelry store, covering himself. Like recent ones, like
that's crazy.
Like there's like all these things. Like, what do you think happened? Like, do you think he's?
If he's alive, that's fucked up because he was king of pop, man.
He was king of pop,
yeah. And he was a great fucking dancer as well. But he whatever they chose to do with him, he had to be like isolated even more because he was posting like videos of going against. Like, there'll be Illuminati in an eye, and he'll be like dancing and like, you know, like doing like certain poses that are like saying like fuck you, basically. You know what I mean? And then like the whole thing that happens to him is just weird. Like, he rapes kids. Where the fuck did that come out of? You know what I mean? Like,
that's where the media kind of tries to destroy you,
and then
like destroy your legacy too.
Exactly, and then because that's serious, man. That's not something light.
Yeah.
But then like the whole skin disease thing and all that, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's the same thing with Chris Brown. He tried to go against it for a while and try to get out of the Illuminati, and then
they claimed him as like a wife beater.
Beat Rihanna, and he's this person and that person, and then it's like, fuck, what am I supposed to do? You know what I mean? They basically have me in a fucking cage.
They could create whatever narrative they want about who I am. And
and it goes with so many different celebrities, and it's like, that's what I'm scared about, man. Like, I really want to take music serious because, like, talking about music really quick, like, music saved my life, man.
How so?
How not? Like, you go through your day and you can play a song that makes you feel exactly how you feel. For me, since I'm an artist, I can talk to people and put my thoughts on there instead of like, because it's a form of writing. You write yourself. Like, when you put your thoughts onto the pen,
it's like super liberating.
It frees you. And it's not like it's a form of expressing yourself, but not only to like in creativity, like, oh, I want someone to bop to this. It's like, this is who I am. This is where my thoughts at. It's like, and especially if like someone likes it, it's like, holy shit, someone's singing along to my thoughts. You know what I mean?
Which aren't just thoughts, but they're like a deeper layer of your soul kind of thing. They're resonating with my soul.
Exactly. And so like, I don't go one day without listening more than 5-10 songs. Every single day I have to listen to music.
No,
like, and it's, you know what I mean? It's like, I could be fucking feeling like I'm about to go hard. Play some fucking pump songs. I feel sad. Let me go play some sad music. You know what I mean? Or whatever it may be. But I just feel like music saved my life because, like, when you feel like you have no one there, you put it down on a pen and a pad, and
that's actually one of the reasons why I think music is so powerful for me too. Is the consistency. It's like people. You can rely on people, but people aren't necessarily always consistent. So you like it. it could be whoever. It could be people who show you unconditional love. It could be your parents. It could be your family members, whatever it is. But people aren't 100% consistent no matter what, right? Yeah. So when you need someone to turn to, or when you need to just, you know, kind of just express your thoughts and just your inner demons, like a lot of times you can't really rely on people. So then you rely on music because it's always there. Like that song is going to always play the same exact way. Yep. You're going to know that at the point, like minute mark, like 1 minute and 15 seconds, like he says that verse that just gives you goosebumps and then just puts you in that zone. And then that's when you, like you said, you go to work, you relax, you think about your life, you whatever. Like I personally, every single day I need, like I start my morning with like when I sit down here, like I have to put music on. I like, that's what gets creativity kind of like running through my body. And then that's when I you know, like start like designing pieces. Like every piece, I like to tell everyone, like every piece is inspired by hip hop. Yeah. Because I just love it. You know, like I just love the culture, the whatever.
And it doesn't even have to be lyrics either. You know what I mean? It could just be the instruments. It could be, you know what I mean? Like the sound in the back, it's comforting, whether it's making you relax. Like
it just takes you somewhere.
It just takes you elsewhere. It's like it distracts you from, like if you're sad or whatever, it distracts you from your thoughts at that moment. It can, you know what I mean? It can, so music for me, it can be like, all right, I'm having these thoughts, I'm gonna put them down, or I have these thoughts, I want to get away from these thoughts.
Ooh, yeah,
you know what I mean? So like it can take you either way, and it's like, it's fucking amazing.
It could take you further into yourself, or it could help you escape yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like you hear Juice WRLD. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's, bro, rest in peace. But he just made music on music on music on music. But that was his feelings. Like when I listen to Juice WRLD, sometimes I get fucking sad. I'm like, damn, like he was really going through some shit. He was really battling.
Feel it.
Yeah. You could, that's what I'm saying. You could feel that shit. Yeah. It's like on a whole nother level. It's not just like, oh, I'm listening to Juice WRLD and I'm bumping to him or I'm singing along. It's like, damn, I feel his pain. And especially if you are in that same, you can relate. And then, you know what I mean? It just takes you up, like music just makes you feel so many different things and think so many different things. Especially if you're an artist, it's like, it's even more like,
because I think artists and creative people in general, like we're more in touch with our feelings than anyone else. Yeah. You know, like I think that just like your form of writing and expressing yourself is through writing music. It's through rap, and like I view rap as like poetry to like a great extent. Like it's just like the play on words, the cadence, rhythm, the flows. Like everything is just magical. You know, like it's just this crazy symphony of things, and then you add instruments in the back, and you having like orchestra, like whatever it is, like hi hats, whatever it is. It's like everything just kind of coalesces and just synchronizes and just like this like unity, you know. And then to me, my version of Juice WRLD would have to be like Mac Miller. Like to this day, like Swimming is one of my favorite all-time albums, and that is one of the albums where I'll listen to it and just like you said, like I could feel his pain.
Mac Miller was a fucking genius, and
he was like that guy was. And he's one of the guys where you could listen to some of his songs and he'll try to expose whatever like the inner workings of the industry is, and he's just really smart, I think, and he was always like really well read, and he was just into like conspiracy theories. And
what are your top 5?
You know, it's crazy, I was about to ask you, what's your top 5 inspirations like rap wise?
That's hard.
Do you have like, all right, so I'll try to go first, only because my answer is probably not what you want to hear. But so I've thought about this before. I'm not really a fan of like ranking music. And the only reason I say that is because for me, it's like always changing. Like my top 5 this week is probably one thing, and my top 5 last week is going to be another thing.
I was just about to ask you, are we talking about like top 5 all time? Or are we talking about like top 5 like out right now? Or
like that's super rough.
It's hard for me because like you said, it's always evolving. And there's the creativity behind it is like, I could say Johnny Lucas, and then I could just be like, all right, but for his time, like Biggie Smalls or whatever, like this person is equivalent, but it's a different time lapse. Like you said, it's like, it's not, they don't have the same equipment, or like, you know what I mean? There's so many things that play, and J. Cole was speaking about 2021. You know what I mean? Like, but what if this person was speaking about how it was back then, and it's it's different back then. They couldn't
Yeah.
really. They're not the same. So it's like
And
but-
you're living through now, and you weren't living through Biggie Smalls era. So like you weren't experiencing life back then, so you can't resonate with them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I would say top 5 of all time, I don't know why. I guess it's just because like when I started rapping, I just really wanted to be a lyricist. When I started rapping, I wanted to be a lyricist.
Mhm.
And with the way that I used to rap back then, it was like I wanted to fucking kill every verse, punchlines, and like the wordplay. I wanted everything. It was like puzzles.
Triple entendres and like everything.
Yeah. So nowadays, I kind of like I'm diversifying how I like go about making music. I'll be more melodic, and like I'll be very picky with the beats as well, because I kind of am in tune with other people like as well as myself. But I wanted to open up to see what I'm able to do. You know what I mean? But back then I was just in one lane. I just wanted to be a lyricist. I just wanted to kill.
And you were hard set on that.
Yeah. So top 5 of all time. It's gonna be my number 1 is Eminem.
Okay.
I just think
Yeah, no, he's crazy.
yeah, it's not like I get it. Like I don't bump Emmett like how I do anymore nowadays. The replay value, whatever, like people would be like, oh, his beats are weird. What he talks about
His beard is weird.
His
His beard is weird. Weird beard. Like that shit's
but yeah, I think like of all time, like when we're coming together with like lyricism and all that stuff, I think he'll be like up there in number 1.
Quick question: do you think Eminem is on a decline recently?
Yeah, it hurts for me to say it.
Yeah,
it's because like you can't
sustain that level like for like as long as he's trying to.
It's like you know what I mean. It's like if you're even real, like if you look, Jay-Z's not coming out with music like that. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Nas is not coming out with music like that. You know what I mean? Like there's people that are still alive that are fucking legends, but they're not. Giving it up, they're doing something else. And I feel like that's what hurts Eminem, is that he can't let go of it because it's his whole life. That's what you know what I mean?
That's all he ever knew.
That's all he ever knew. So it's hard for him to let go, which I understand. He's still killing it though. Don't get me wrong. Like
no.
I still appreciate
plenty of great songs recently. Yeah.
Like that how he just came out with a remix with
I saw that with Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow and Corday. Fire. Like in my aspect, like it doesn't. He doesn't. You can't bump it at a club, of course. There's a time and place for music, certain. But Eminem always brings the bars and the fucking lyricism is
wordplay,
the wordplay. Like he was playing on court. Fucking, he said some shit like fuck. It's so much that it's hard to even remember. But like his wordplay, it's like the way he's able to bend words and
orange door hinge or whatever.
And the fact that it goes over people's head because people are dumb nowadays. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
people are.
No, it's true. Yeah,
people listen to music and they just want to bump their heads to the beat, but they're not paying attention to the words. This guy.
That's why people fuck with like Lil Keed and like Lil Pump or whatever the fuck. Which I don't have anything against.
Me neither. Like you could listen to 6ix9ine. Go ahead.
Yeah,
but don't tell me he's fucking
like a genius.
A genius.
Like, he's like Kanye or something.
I think
like
6ix9ine is a joke. Like that guy shouldn't even.
Yeah, he is a joke. Yeah,
but. Yeah, so the way that Eminem like does what he does is I'm always gonna respect that. Replay value, not so much. You know what I mean? Like, like I
get it.
I'm excuse me. The way that I am now is like like how I said music changed my life. I'm like in tune. I pay attention to everything, like the lyrics, the beat, the cadence, the context, the story. If there's a story behind it. Like, you know what I mean? So
what that artist is going through right now.
If I could relate, you know what I mean? So like, I definitely play homage to Eminem and he would always be in my top 5. Okay. So for lyricism wise, I would definitely say Eminem is definitely number 1 because he's nasty with the wordplay and stuff. But when it comes to like bumping something that's going to make me like relate to it and stuff like that, I think like J. Cole, Kendrick, definitely up there. It's crazy because I honestly do you know who NF is?
NF, NF Doom.
No, it's just NF.
NF is the white guy, right?
Bro, that guy is nasty. And
I have a few of his songs in my workout playlist. I think, yeah.
He is real.
Do you know about that other white guy that like spits crazy too? Like he's always on Sway in the Morning. Fuck. He has like a weird name.
I probably do.
I have to
I
find it.
probably do. But yeah, NF is
But yeah, I'll like try to think about it.
the reason why I like NF is because he grew, like I could relate to him. He grew up and he was fucking poor as hell. His mom died to overdosing on pills, so she practically killed herself. And he like his slogan is real music, and he really talks about real music. Like there's so many fucking Token. Oh my
This
god,
guy.
Token is nasty,
Yes,
bro.
This guy.
Token is nasty. So is Little Dicky.
Lil Dicky is crazy.
Lil Dicky's
too.
crazy, but
Yeah,
he's funny as fuck.
Yeah,
And
his song with Snoop Dogg.
Professional rapper.
Yeah, that's just crazy. And it's like a whole like storytelling.
Yeah, that was one of the first songs that I heard from him, and I was like, yo, this guy's
crazy.
Crazy because he's funny with it, and he's coming out with the flow is nice, and the lyrics behind it is fucking
so
dope.
seamless. It's like him telling a story, and then oh my god, like I was listening to that song actually like a few days ago.
Token is coming out, like he just dropped like two songs. One of them was Hi J Cole.
I saw that one. I saw the video for it.
Yeah. He's pretty. That was a smart business
move because J Cole just released his album,
and he remixed like 4 beats on there, which is kind of hard to do. You know what I mean? And plus J Cole beats. You know what I mean? Like
they're already pretty much perfect. And stuff,
and then you hop and you hop on it. You know, it was a smart move. And this kid has been rapping and he's been famous since he was like 15, 16.
Yeah.
So he's crazy, he's like 22 now or 23. But yeah, he's nice with it.
Yeah, he's a dope one.
I listen to so when I say like music changed my life, I don't just listen to rap either. Like I listen to all kinds of music.
What's your second favorite genre?
Ooh, that's hard to damn. God. I don't know because like I guess it would have to be like what would you consider like singing, like R&B?
R&B, yeah.
Because it's not that I do it, but I kind of like to sing myself. I don't.
That's fine.
So yeah. So
totally fine. I don't know why you're embarrassed by that. Like not many people can sing.
I'm all right. I've been told that I have a pretty decent voice, but like I'm like kind of like you, my own biggest critic. So
yeah.
I'll fucking do something and I'll be like, nah,
just like it's cringe.
Yeah. But
what would it take for you to like? Do you see yourself kind of emancipating from that thing that's holding you back from like release? Like, do you plan on like soon maybe dropping a few more songs and just kind of like getting in front of the camera, just like we discussed before the podcast, and kind of like how do you see that going? Like,
you know, I definitely know, like I don't want to sound like cocky or anything, but I definitely feel like I'm better than a lot of people.
You're talented, for
like
sure.
Yeah. I like, but there's just something holding me back with.
What do you think it is though? Like, what's that thing that's like holding you back from just like picking up your phone and just, I don't know, just like angling it and then just like hopping on a beat and just like, I don't know, and just putting that shit out there?
Like freedom. Yeah, I feel like if like I feel like just because I grew up listening and like being so in tune with all these rappers and how their life is before and after they become famous, I feel like a lot of them talk about how they're not free no more and they're not capable of being themselves. They like there's a song, I forgot who was talking about it. I forgot what the line was. Said it can't even walk into Target and browse. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just feel like it might be like people see it from the outside and be like, wow, it must be nice to be famous. They got a fucking mansion. They got Bentleys, all these cars, Bentleys, Ferraris, and they got
all these
Rollies. They got the girls, this and that. But that's only what they choose to show you.
Yeah.
So like, imagine if you're trying to fucking go take a piss in Walmart or some shit, and there's like 10 people crowding you, like
just like Eminem, so that he can't take a shit without a fan being like, "Oh, hey, Slim."
Or
like, I won't sign your autograph or whatever.
Or people like telling you you're a fucking asshole because you don't want to take a picture with them or this and that. Like, I just feel like a lot of the messages in certain celebrities' songs after they blow up is like they feel like they're in prison and trapped. you know, and I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like I guess because I observe it so much and I'm constantly like picking apart of how my life is going to be, just because I'm questioning that, I feel like it's not for me.
And you kind of anticipate the worst if it does happen.
Yeah. So like, you know, like I could be like, yeah, it'll be nice to be famous, but I don't know what comes with it. And then once I start thinking about, all right, it might come with this, and that, I was like, all right, so if I'm already questioning it and doubting it, then it's not for me. I feel like if you know what your purpose is, obviously there's going to be certain times where you feel like it's not really your calling. But because I've been like, I've always been like that. I've always been like, damn, I don't know if I want to be famous. I don't know if I can handle that. So I feel like just because I know that, I just can't, I don't know.
Do you think that being independent, like Russ is, for example, do you think that makes any difference in the way that you see fame? Being an artist who, you know, like you invest in yourself and you like everything's out of your own pocket and you build your own fan base, you like handle the whole marketing, like you're an independent artist.
Yeah.
That way you're not 6ix9ine where a group of people in ties or the Illuminati is sitting around a table and trying to like kind of morph your whole image and create your narrative for you in order for you to appeal, you know, to more people. I don't know. Do you think it makes a difference, or do you think it all falls into like the same rabbit hole?
I feel like it all falls into the same rabbit hole. Like like when you hit that level of fame, you know, you always got eyes watching you. I feel like that's too much for me. You know, like I like my privacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I come home and I just
want to kind of like close out from the whole world. Yeah.
Imagine if you can never do that for 5 years. You're never alone.
Or imagine if like right now you're capable of just saying whatever the fuck you want to say, and then imagine getting to a point where you can't, because then you have to run it through your PR person and you have to run it through your manager and your label, and then you could get dropped by your label. And
now you're not even really you.
You're not.
You know what I mean? Like, let's say if I wanted to come out with a song about
mental health,
and they're like, nah,
that's not going to sell.
Yeah.
It's like, Alex, we want to sell out stadiums here. Like, we're trying to sell your merch. Your merch is about lean and about doing Percocets. Like, you can't. What are you trying to do, Alex? Like,
yeah. So then, now you're like, I'm not even
Alex anymore.
I'm not even Alex. What the fuck?
Like I'm just this form. Like, I'm just this shell.
I'm a puppet.
A puppet. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm a puppet. So that to me, like, because I watch all these documentaries growing up about Illuminati and all this stuff. I feel like,
oh fuck, I don't want to get into that shit.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I feel like that's why I don't put my music, or like for example, for me, I know what it takes to be successful. Something you gotta fucking want it. You gotta, like, I can't just be in Newark releasing my music. I gotta go to fucking Cali and try to I gotta go knock on doors, pass out,
introduce yourself, and like don't wait until you get introduced. You introduce
exactly.
yourself.
You gotta put yourself out there, and that's one thing that I lack, and I do that. I don't do it because I'm scared of my music is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do it just because I feel like I'm not ready. Like I'm not ready for that.
Do you know what's funny? Like a quick anecdote too. So just like I told you before we started recording about the whole like TikTok thing that we're like trying to build, it's been crazy. Mind you, like we only have like 5,000 followers, which I only say because
that's a fucking lot.
A lot of people, it's like, you know, like that's not a lot or whatever. But to us, like it's super meaningful because these people interact with our stuff. Yeah. And like a recent video that we posted is still scaling, and it's almost like 20K views, which to us, it's like, it's crazy. Like this 1 minute edit of me and my girlfriend talking about like we're nobodies and we're reaching this audience and people are commenting, right? And that's where things get kind of tricky, because if you go into the comments and you start reading them, there's this weird mixed feeling. Like a lot of people are like, you know, trying to like support you, and they're like asking questions about the content that you're putting out. And then a lot of people are saying like, oh, like this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Oh, like what the fuck is this guy? Like one person called us the discount store version of another famous podcast on TikTok, right? So it's like people try to like pull you and just like break you down on the platform, but my point is, once you start getting like strangers kind of interested in you, it's just this weird thing where their opinions start kind of holding weight to how you, affecting you. And you don't know why, and you can't control it in the moment. And then only after the fact, I'm like, Jesus, I just responded and just got into this fight with this person who I don't even know. And it could be a 12-year-old kid living in his mom's whatever the fuck, you know? And I'm here like losing sleep over like just anger and just being like, oh,
we live in a world where it's like,
everybody's
you're defined by the comment section now. It's fucking crazy. Like,
oh my God, it pisses me off so much. And then I could only
That's another thing that comes with all that stuff. Like, imagine you pour your heart out into something,
and then fucking someone says like
10,000 people, fucking garbage. Give it up. You don't know what you're talking about. And now, like, you're there, like, wow, I just spent 2 months working on this project, and this one person destroyed my pride, everything.
This is the most vulnerable I've ever felt.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't see. I look at all those things and I'm like, damn, it comes with a lot. It comes with a lot of baggage. So people see it and they don't. I want to be famous too, but I see the bad parts of it too. So that's what holds me back from really pursuing it. You know what I mean? Like, I can be successful and still have my privacy. This and that. You know what I mean? And like I told you, a lot of this, I have like 4 or 5 songs that I listen to myself. Like, I don't. I have friends who'll be like, yo, like, I'll show them, be like, yo, you better send me that shit because I like to bump it. Then I'll be like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? I have a couple friends that I send it to. But that's scary for like 10,000 people to listen to it, and you know what I mean?
And then form an opinion on it and then just tell you what they think about it.
Yeah. It's definitely scary.
Oh,
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah, sure.
What do you think are friends? Okay, define friends.
What do you think friends are?
Yeah.
What do I think friends are?
Like, define what a friend means to you.
You know what? That's a great question because I've always been so friendships to me, friendships have always been kind of like a problem, especially since I moved back from Brazil.
Me too. Well, now, like, I didn't come from Brazil, but I mean, like, me too.
Yeah. But only because like, people mistake having friends with having people who are responsible for your happiness, if that makes sense. So like, the same applies to like a romantic relationship. The moment, let's say like, because we haven't seen each other in like a long time, and I believe that we're going to develop a really great friendship after that. Like this is the starting point. But basically, let's say that we've been friends for 10 years, right? Yeah. And you're the type of person who's kind of dependent on your friends in order to bring you validation and happiness and like all that stuff. And you need consistent maintenance. Like, that's my biggest pet peeve, is like people who need maintenance a lot. Yeah. But maintenance not in a way of like, oh, like I'm gonna be cold-hearted because you just reached out and told me about the accident that you had recently and stuff, and I'm just gonna like decline or whatever. No, like, I'm not that type of person. Like that's not what I'm trying to say.
No, yeah, I hear you.
It's like just like this like consistent. I don't know. I think that I'm at a point in my life where I just want to, just like we kind of touched on before the podcast, I just want to kind of like invest in myself and just really kind of be selfish. But at the same time, I'm super open to helping people around me as much as I can. But I'm not going to like put my life on pause and like go like help you, like hold your hand and stuff. So like a lot of my past friendships, especially in the US, have kind of consisted of that. And that's why I say past, because like they're not like really present anymore, and I'm not really present. And I don't think I ever really was present. You know, because I like friendships where like it's easy to say that you want more positive than negative, but I like friendships and relationships too, where like you like we're both like building. Like every time that we come together, it's like, all right, you could spill a bunch of problems that you have, and I'm gonna be there as a friend to like help you solve those problems. And then we're gonna move forward. Yeah, you're not gonna suck me in, and I'm not gonna let you still like sit in that space. I'm gonna like push you. I'm gonna smack you in your face. I'm gonna wake you up. I'm gonna be like, yo, like, let's fucking move.
And if you can't understand, then it's like, you know what I mean? It's like weighing down on you now.
Yeah,
you know
because
it's like you're
because it's my problem now.
Yeah.
It's like, but it sounds fucked up, and I know how bad it sounds, but at the same time, I think that that's the best remedy for the other person too. It's like, I'm trying to help you. And you know,
I asked because I felt, and it's true, I felt like you were kind of at the same headspace I'm at. Like, I work every single day. I haven't had a day off since fucking May 22nd, May 23rd. Those are my only days off in the past month and a half. Willingly, I apply to work Saturdays and Sundays because I have a dream and goals, and I feel like people there's I'm being selfish in like taking the time to focus on me. And I'll be there for you. Don't get me wrong. But I feel like when I am there for you, the people take advantage.
Oh, yes.
You know what I am?
They take your kindness for weakness.
Yeah. So it's like, damn, now I'm fucking myself up for someone who probably wouldn't even do the same for me. Like, for example, I had this one person who, I'm not even gonna say names or whatever, but I had this one person who always called me when they're upset.
Yeah.
And then there was a time where I was upset. And I fucking
tried calling.
Nothing. Try calling again. Like maybe they're busy.
Yeah, maybe.
And I was really feeling it. Like, damn, I need to talk to someone.
I need it. Yeah.
And then I feel like when you get into that routine of feeling like you need someone there, or like you need to, it just, you keep going downhill instead. And it's like, damn, I'm wasting this time, this energy, and it's like, I can't. So I've gotten in with the place that I'm in right now. I've gone into the routine of being like, if I need to talk to someone, it's either going to be my mom or like put it down, pen and pad, music or whatever.
Or like listening to music.
So, yeah. So it's like I find other ways, or I'll go and I'll ride my bike, or I'll draw. You know what I mean? I find I'll work on my crafts because, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like I have so many, like, and I don't want to even sound cocky saying this, but I have a lot of talents. Like, you know, I played hockey growing up. I skateboarded. I draw. I beatbox. I make music. I could go ride my bike. You know what I mean? There's just so many things that I can do to,
like, outlets
instead of
letting it consume you,
letting it consume me, or depending on another person.
Yes,
because nowadays people are so fake.
They are
so
100%,
and it's hard. It's not that I'm being like, I don't want to say like I just see the world as pieces of shit people are, blah, blah. But it's the harsh reality, like, because of what I've dealt with, you know what I mean? Like, I've had people in my circle plotting on me, you know what I mean? And then you just become aware, you know, like you just become aware, and like you realize like time is passing by so fast. Like, you know, like 2 months already passed, and what did I do 2 months ago that's gonna affect me now? Or what am I doing that's gonna affect me in 2 years? And I feel like that's what I like about my mentality is that like I'm living in the now, but I'm always.
But you have like planning, 1 foot in the future.
One foot in the future, kind of, yeah. Because where I'm at now was my thoughts 5 years ago, 4 years ago. You know what I mean? Like where you are now is what Callie's thoughts were 5 years ago. So
you want to be in a place where you're thanking yourself.
Yeah.
Like you want to do something now that your future self is going to thank
me for. And you know, like I've been doing that, and I feel like because I'm very caring. I'm a very humble person. I feel like if I gave that person the opportunity to come into my life, I feel like then at that point I'm giving them too much,
and they're just holding you back.
And they're just holding me back, or it's like they have the possibility of ruining my plans. You know what I mean? And that scares me.
Their negativity into your life,
or whatever the case may be.
Your home,
your
inner temple,
bro. Like peace right now to me is like so important.
It's the most valuable thing other than time. Just like we talked about.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. Like everything that I'm doing. Like for example, excuse me. This weekend, or it's 2 weekends ago. Sorry. I had a weekend off, right? And I didn't want to be off. I thought I signed up to work, and I didn't. And then I went to the beach. You know, Saturday I went to the beach, and I enjoyed it. And then it came Sunday, and I was like, damn, I could have been at work. Like this day is going by so quick. I could have been at work, and I could have been like doing other things to benefit me. But like, and then you get into the routine of that, and routine to me is so important because once you fall into routine, it's hard to get out of it. So like, for example,
good and bad.
Good, yeah. So like, for example, there's people that it's like, oh, you need to enjoy yourself more. You need to go out more. You need to drink. You need to have friends. You need to enjoy life.
Yeah.
Now, like, what if I fall into the routine of going out to drink and doing this now, and I do that for a year? Now it's not, and now it's a fucking habit. You know what I mean? And to break habits, it's hard. It's even now you're basically digging a hole. It's harder for you to get out of that. So, for example, I work so much that it's kind of a routine for me to work Saturdays and Sundays. Like it's not. People are like, "How the fuck you do it? How do you?"
But to you, it's just second nature now.
It's second nature because I know that that's gonna pay off in 2 years. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be, and then in 2-3 years, maybe I could take some time off, relax. Maybe I'll be able to, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm at the point in my life where I know right now I need to work on Alex. Alex needs to be my top priority. I went through a relationship where I was kind of giving my all to someone else. That was my plans were based off of her. So now I realized like, yo, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why was I like that? You know what I mean? So when I realize now, I'm like, all right, I gotta make me the top priority. You know? So it's like, and once you start doing that, everything starts to kind of like
fall into
place. You know what I mean? Like, and it's once you get there, you're never satisfied. You just keep going, keep going. So I'm excited to see what the future holds. Like for like in 2 years from now, 3 years from now. You know what I mean?
And I think that those people that kind of like criticize and kind of like pick holes at your, you know, work ethic, and they say like, hey, Alex, like, don't you ever think about just, you know, like that you may die tomorrow, you know, like YOLO, like a lot of people live by that, you know, like, but I think those people are just really deeply insecure with their current predicament. So like, they're kind of like looking at you and I don't know, like, I think that a lot of advice stems from insecurities.
Yeah. I whatchamacallit? Fuck, I just had a little brain fart. You said a line and I had something to go with it, and then I was like, fuck, I hate when that happens.
At the beginning, right?
Yeah. Now you brain farted about what you said.
I completely I think I have like short memory loss.
Short-term memory loss.
Short-term memory loss. I swear to God, because I like I'll do things and I'll forget.
That's like when you're like thinking so much. Yeah. You have so many ideas. It's just like
that they just all get mixed up and stuff. And I think that's a problem with like creative people in general.
Yeah.
Because Leonardo da Vinci had that a lot where he like he's a person that I kind of look up to in just like the humanistic sense, and that's why I have that poster right there. And that's why it's called Vitruvian, because Vitruvian represents the questioning, which is what we did a lot on this podcast, is like the questioning of our placement within the larger cosmos. So that's why he's, you know, centered inside that circle, and then there's like this like proportions and like everything's kind of perfect, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, so he was fascinating because he's kind of like scatterbrained, but he's very focused. So he was like this walking paradox where he would wake up every morning, he would make a list of things that he was just curious about, and then he would go out and like find ways of learning it. So he would see a hummingbird, and then he would write down in his notes and be like, oh, like what are the muscles that make the wings of the hummingbird flap
so fast and shit,
and like twitch. And then he would find a hummingbird, maybe kill one, dissect it, study it, paint it. So he was just this like wild guy. And then he would look at the stars and just like question why, you know, like why are there eclipses, like whatever. And then he would approach astronomers and like scholars that knew about that, and he would like give himself as a student.
Yeah.
And I don't know why I'm talking. Because of like all of these ideas, and I'm not associating or saying that we're like Leonardo, but I think that creative people in their essence, I think like that's what it is. It's like we have ADHD, but it's not ADHD. It's just like we're just, like we just get passionate and we just have these ideas.
I can't sit still anymore.
I can't either.
It's just like I don't know what it is. Like me just telling you the story about me taking off, and then I'm like, why am I like? I enjoyed myself. Yeah, whatever. Had a day off. Feels good to relax. But I could be doing more.
Still there, like
I could be doing more. Yeah. So it's like it's always like that with me with everything. Like even with the time being like so fucking biggest asset. But yeah, man, it's definitely like you start to think about like different people and where they come. I think that like one of the biggest things for me is like you can hear someone's story, you can kind of like know where they're at. You know what I mean? Like who they are really. Like it's like we're all a product of the things that we experience, kind of.
For sure.
But oh man,
did you ever hear that theory about how the person who coined this theory was Joe Rogan?
Oh, Joe Rogan's awesome.
Yeah, he said that he started viewing people as babies. So, for example, perfect example, the lady who rear-ended you, right?
Yeah.
If you were a person who had like short temper, like you had a short fuse and you have just anger issues, like you fucking punch people and you break stuff and you just like crazy anger issues, right? Yeah. A way for you to kind of deal with that anger is by approaching that lady in a sense where you view her as a child. And what he means by that is that he views people as like a product of their past experiences. So this person was once a kid, like was once like 2 years old, 3 years old, like breastfeeding, whatever. And then these various events kind of imprinted on this person the personalities that they have now. And so you should never view a person as like a finished product either. Like you should never view that lady as like frustrated, like always frustrated, always panicking. That's like something that happened in that moment. And then this experience is going to either add on to it or it's going to take away from it. It's going to teach her how to manage it better. It's going to, whatever it is. But you always view them as like these like ever evolving pieces of just fabric that just get like interwoven and they get like new layers on. Yeah. And it's a fascinating way to like look at people because like that also reduces your anxiety. So if you're walking into like a major job interview and you're just like nervous and stuff, like if you view your interviewer or anyone who's like sitting across from you, like anything, like a girl on like a first date, even though that's kind of weird if you view her as like a that's super weird actually. Like I'm gonna take that one back, but you should never view like your prospect because like that's a kink, I think, right?
Yeah.
It's, like, it's called pedophile. But, so I'm gonna just take that one back.
Just edit that part out.
Nah, I'm gonna leave it in, but I don't mean, this podcast I like to, think as I go. But do you get what I mean, though?
Yeah.
It's like you just kind of break them down because there's another way of doing it, but I think it's kind of toxic. It's where you get like someone and then you break them down in your head, but then that can kind of train you to be like more like of a hater in your way of thinking.
Yeah.
It's like you can view someone successful, like, oh, like I'm gonna meet Joe Rogan tomorrow, and then I could start like viewing him as like, oh, but this guy's just human, and like this guy's whatever, and then you kind of remove his accolades. But I don't think that's healthy because you should embrace people with what they have and like everything they have.
Word.
But viewing them as like this evolved, always evolving is super interesting.
If you could be one animal, what animal would you be?
Fuck, I don't know. Because I always get stuck in between like flying, being like a bird, or like a land, or like ocean. Like, I don't know, like which realm would you choose?
Wow, I saw some shit today. Now we're talking about ocean. And I saw some shit that was like sharks is the only species that experienced like it's the only animal or whatever that's been on the earth that experienced like the
dinosaurs,
like extinctions and shit like that. Fuck, man, damn, bro. But yeah, no, but I would definitely be an eagle for a fact.
An eagle,
yeah.
Okay, why?
Well, eagle. I mean, flying is fucking dope as hell, but
and eagles are like top predators.
And like I just feel like I don't know. They're the way that. Have you ever seen like an eagle? Like
I've seen eagles hunt.
Yeah. So well, besides that, they're fucking awesome hunters. But there was this one video that I saw, and they're fucking huge. There was this huge ass eagle. Yeah, they're fucking huge.
I'm gonna see if I can find like the largest eagle.
Yo, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, like look at this shit.
Yo, like the size of a fucking human. You know what I mean?
This one's the size of that guy, maybe bigger. I don't know if it's the camera angle, but I don't think the camera angle is doing too much.
Nah.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. At that shit.
I just think fucking pterodactyl from like fucking Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, eagles are a gangster move, I think.
Yeah, hell yeah. I would fucking just flying in general, like to be able to like roam free like that and like
I was gonna say some like corny bullshit like, oh, like I want to be a lion and stuff, but I think that you just have to think more like just like you said about like what are you gonna gain by being an eagle? Like you gain the ultimate freedom, which is flight,
and they can see far as fuck,
and they're great hunters, like they're master predators. But I think there's something majestic about flying for sure.
Yeah, hell yeah.
More than swimming, more than running fast or whatever it is. I think
if you could live in, like, if you could just time travel, where would you? What era would you go back to? Would you
ancient Greece or the Italian Renaissance? Probably the Italian Renaissance, because ancient Greece, like the life expectancy isn't really that great because medicine and stuff. But probably. How about you? Mario on the past episode said something interesting, and I'm just curious to see like what you'll say, and then I'll like tell you what he said, which I found interesting.
Damn, I asked it and I didn't have a fucking answer myself.
Happens to me all the time, by the way.
That's a good one. I don't know, man. Because it's like how you're thinking about it. Like you're thinking about, am I gonna, like what?
being kind of like realistic,
being
about
realistic with it.
Yeah.
Like, am I gonna suffer because it wasn't medicine like back then,
Or are you gonna die from a flu or
exactly,
from a cold or from the Black
like
Plague or some
shit that we don't even deal with right now. Like, you know, like simple shit that we can just snap. Like, we'll take a little pill and it'll be gone. But back then, it'll fucking make you
It's
feel like
death,
it's
yeah.
death. Yeah.
Yeah, he died.
Damn. I feel like, I don't know why, but I feel like it's weird. But I feel we're talking about like going back in time, and I'm still gonna be 23, right? I'm gonna be me.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know why, but I feel like early 2000s, like 1990s would be
Really?
pretty. Yeah, I don't know why.
That's a crazy answer.
Because
that's like just recent.
I know it is recent,
Yeah.
and like I could go like anywhere. I could go like it's any time, but I just like the way the music and the way that everything was like fashion wise, and you know, I just feel like I don't know if it's because it's portrayed that way, but I feel like they were more they were happy, like happier.
Yeah.
Like it was just like.
Speaking of, do you remember just how crazy it was back in the? Because I remember that right before I left for Brazil, like everybody that we knew, like our best friends, like David and Derek, for example, like everybody was kind of like getting into skateboarding.
Yeah.
Right. And then you were really good at skateboarding, right?
I was all right.
Nah, you were pretty dope at skateboarding. And then I remember that right before we moved to Brazil, because my mom kind of just like dumped that news on me like unexpectedly, and I just had to like eat it and just kind of like digest it. But right before, I had picked up a board at Zoomies, custom made board. Spent like $350. Plan B, like reverse concave board or whatever the fuck it was, like custom trunks, custom wheels, everything. And I was just ready to like start, you know, like learning how to ollie and like just like kind of like riding with you guys, because Derek also like kind of really took it forward, right? Like he like really.
So did David.
David too, yeah, like everybody did, right?
Yeah.
And then it was just like this like whole movement where like everybody was just into skateboarding. And then the fashion leading up to that point, I think it was like Ed Hardy. It was like
fucking
fitted,
Etnies,
DCs, and
DCs.
shit.
Oh my god, holy shit!
Shopping at Zoomies.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't know what it is about this era.
Yeah, it was kind of golden to me.
Yeah, but like even like right now, I don't know what it is. Like everyone like nowadays, it's like comparing it to that time. Right now, everything is like everyone thinks it's like nice to have all these things, but I think it's like outdated already to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, this Supreme and this and that.
Yeah.
I don't know, like
bathing apes or whatever.
Yeah. The babe stuff and all that. Like, $5,000 for a shirt, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like back then, you can fucking
look cool and stylish on a budget.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. What's your definition of success?
Ooh, easy questions, by the way. Super easy so far. Jesus Christ. I don't think I have a definition for success per se. All right. Just so I'm not like coming off always like as like, oh, like I don't think that, but success is, I think it's just ultimate fulfillment. You know, because I've grown past, just like I told you before we started recording too, it's like I've grown past that phase of my life where I let my ego kind of dictate my reality or dictate my future. Yeah. So I would tell myself like, oh, like it would be dope to, you know, prove these certain people wrong and like show up with like a FU car and like, you know, make FU money, open this gym and just like be like fucking, you know, rich, expand and stuff. And I'm not gonna lie, like at a point I thought like that, like at the very beginning, you know, and what I'm really ashamed of today is that I let that kind of like steer me. And now I realize just how stupid that was, you know, because like ultimate fulfillment, like just like I was telling my girl the other day, it's like, it's walking my dog. Like I feel fulfilled. Like that to me is successful.
Yeah.
Walking with him, just like giving him, you know, pats and like hugs and just like meditating with him outside and just like looking at birds and letting him kind of run and running with him and stuff. Like, so like that's a little success thing that I consider myself successful just because of that. Yeah. Even though it's super corny to say like, oh, like if you're happy, you're successful, whatever.
No, but that's the thing. I kind of view it the same way. I think like, obviously, you know, I don't like that phrase, money buys happiness. or money can't buy happiness. Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't, because of the way that I was brought up. You know, I seen like when you're struggling to survive, like that's money can make the difference. You know,
Money can buy you freedom. I think.
yeah. So it's like there's been days where I would see my mom like crying, trying to like struggling to pay the rent and stuff like that. Like growing up, it was kind of basically all like that. So it's like, what's a family of 5 if you can't even afford it? You know what I mean? So it's like, but just like you said, it's like to me, the level of success is kind of like being like financially stable, but also finding like that level of fulfillment where you're able to walk your dog or you're able to do whatever and find happiness within that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, so like, for example, like I just want to like, there's no doubt about it. You'll come home. You can't avoid being sad. It's going to happen. Like, you know, throughout life.
It's like natural.
But yeah, it's natural. Yeah. But like you said, being able to have coming home and like if I want to draw and I draw and it makes me happy, that's like success. You know what I mean? Yeah. But there's a point where I was like, all right, I don't want to come home to a garbage house and you know what I mean? Like no food in the table and this and that. So I feel like financially it does play a little bit of a role, you know, and it sucks because money rules everything. Yeah. But I think like I want to travel too, and like I want to be able to like go fucking visit. Like we're living on this earth, and it sucks that we might not even be able to like see like places that, you know, it's like so monumental and so. A
lot of people don't even leave like their like hometown, like where they grew up in.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's sad to me. That's sad. Like not like I mean if you choose to stay, all right, whatever. If you're happy there, cool. But
again, like each person has their own.
Has their own definition of happy. But to me, like I don't want to stay in Newark like all my life. I know that for a fact. You know what I mean? There's more. Yeah. There's more to it. Like the Newark life is different from like
California life,
or like the country life or whatever. Like now, that's not saying that's what I want, but I just want to be able to expand my knowledge and be able to
assimilate different cultures and like different
visit different places and see how they think and how they go about life and stuff, while being happy with my like. Also, another thing too is like health, like especially after everything that I dealt with, I want to be comfortable, not like comfortable in my own body, but I want to be able to do certain things, knowing that like
you're capable
physically of doing it. Like if I like it. So after the surgeries and stuff, like my doctor was telling me, like even if you do the bare minimum of workouts, you're gonna live a longer life, and it's studies show that. You know what I mean? So like I've taken all that in, and I've incorporated it into my routine, like stretching and all that stuff like that, and it helps. And like when you're feeling physical pain, it actually makes you like puts you in a dark place, and it actually messes up with your. So I just want to be happy mentally, physically, and all the, you know what I mean? I feel like they all play a role kind of.
For sure.
So yeah, I kind of like
that's a great answer. But
I watch your shit all the time, so I kind of knew what you're gonna say.
Which by the way, like just like I told you before, it's super refreshing and like low key strange, but in the best way possible. Like to like come across someone who, for one, we have very similar mindsets. Like scaringly similar. Yeah. And it's not really scary because we were best friends like at one point, and I think that there's like a weird thing that happens when, you know, there's that quote that Bible quote actually that says like, tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are, like type of thing, you know? So anyways, but there's that, and then just you telling me that you just resonate with the stuff that I put out, and then just me like having this, you know, like being my biggest critic and not really believing to the extent that maybe other people believe in me, like if that makes sense. It's just really refreshing, and I really appreciate it because and it's just like, again, I'm not the best at receiving compliments at all, like in any extent, and it's just, I don't know. But so I was just gonna check this real quick. So we've been going on for almost 2 hours.
No fucking way.
Yeah, it's 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Time flies, man.
Yeah, no.
Holy shit.
Time in this studio, and like it's always the same thing.
I don't believe it.
It's like it just feels like it just goes. And every single time, I'm gonna have to like invite you again on because we have to do this again and we have to sit down because I feel like honestly like we could do maybe a few dozen episodes.
Oh hell yeah!
And just like go down like
we could talk about so many different things.
Cover multitude of stuff. Yeah.
I know the time. The time is like going so fast and shit.
Oh yeah.
There was just one thing that I want to talk about when we're talking about Joe Rogan real quick.
Yeah.
So I was watching like an episode of Joe Rogan and he was talking about like, and I just want to touch on like apes and all that stuff that scientists
Stone ape theory.
Yeah. Scientists have like realized that like the apes and gorillas, whatever, they're hitting the Stone Age that they're like finally. So like dude,
that's crazy. Yeah.
Like, what do you think about that? Like, what if in like 100 years, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think it's insane. Like they have footage of chimpanzees hunting with tools and weapons
and picking up shit and using it in smart fucking ways. So that's what I was trying to tell you about like life. That shit is so fucking intriguing. Like you can just go about so many different ways, but that shit is crazy.
Did you know that during our like development phase, because like people have this preconcept, this wrong notion that humans evolved from like, you know, monkey to like human, right? There's that like little scale that like shows like a chimpanzee and then it evolves and then it turns into the modern man. Did you know that that's like actually like bullshit kind of? And that at one point we Homo sapiens coexisted with another species of humans. So Homo neanderthals and Homo erectus and like all of these different homos. That sounds super funny to say. I'm trying to be like super like serious and not like crack myself up.
All these different homos.
We lived on a planet with all these homos.
Oh boy.
And then eventually what happened was, well, there are theories that say that like Homo sapiens killed off the other species.
Oh shit.
And that's why they're extinct. But we didn't like develop in this like linear fashion, like Homo erectus and then Neanderthal and then humans.
Yeah.
And then sapiens. But we all coexisted. So like that in of itself is crazy. And then to have chimps just learning our ways and just like slowly starting to like develop into what we, so it's almost as if we're like
doing
we're
sign
watching
languages and shit.
It's crazy.
Communicate with a fucking chimpanzee. Like it's crazy.
And there was one, and I'll just pull up the video real quick because it's super quick. I just have to see if I remember the title, but there was this chimp that learned sign language. And I believe it's a female. And she said she gave a last message for humanity like shortly before she died. And this video alone made me believe like even more in that idea that you were talking about how everything's kind of like interconnected and that we like share like whatever it is. And her message is super like dark and shit.
Damn. Life.
So her name is Coco.
Oh, I think I saw this, but I don't really.
Oh, so it's not a chimp; it's a gorilla, actually. So my bad. But look, and we'll like narrate. So it says, "I am gorilla" in sign language. I am flowers, animals. I am nature. Man, Coco love, earth. Coco love. But man, stupid. Stupid again. Coco sorry. Coco cry. Time hurry. Fix earth. Help earth. Hurry. Protect earth. Nature sees you. Thank you.
Damn.
It's like super simple, but it's crazy to me.
No, it's I don't think it's simple at all. I feel like
I think it's super complex.
Yeah.
Shit.
That because if you really think about it, we really are like shortening Earth's. Like,
no, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like and it's the little things, man. I mean, like that's what I'm saying. We fall into we literally fall into a trap of like what we're doing daily, and like we're not really like cognizant of the things that we're doing that affects the earth, like the bigger picture. You know what I mean?
Because we only see like short term, and we're taught that
Like regular people, normal people, they're focusing on partying, this and that. But there's people like Elon Musk and different other people that
we're
are
trying to progress,
and thinking about the future of society, humanity, and trying to fix things. Like what's that Elon Musk is doing, that project where it's like the biggest prize to try to eliminate carbon emissions into the who can come up with the best way. And it's like it's the biggest prize. It's like I don't know if it's millions or if it's like billions, or I'm pretty sure it's like something million. And like it got the whole world, like someone like he did that, and now I got like the whole world, like scholars talking about it, trying to figure out a way,
because there's money.
You know what I mean? Because
now.
Either because they're focused on the money, or because they actually care. You know what I mean? And they really wanna. But it's yeah, that's crazy. That you brought that up. We could have went on like for another 40 minutes. Well, I know we're running. Yeah.
But no, so let's just segue now. Speaking of humanity and everything, I don't know if you know what I ask every guest to do at the end of the episode. Do you know?
No, I don't.
So at the end of every episode, pretend now that you're walking onto the stage, right? And this is the stage of humanity. So every single human being on this planet is now given an earpiece that translates everything that you're going to utter into that microphone into their language perfectly. Like they understand everything, the cadence, the intention, like everything. And you now have this opportunity staring into that camera right there. You have everybody's attention, and they're going to listen out to what you want to say. And you can ask a question. You can say one word. You can do whatever you want. Like say whatever you want. Like you have this one chance. Like what would you tell humanity?
Oh man. Well, I definitely can't say it in one word, but damn, if I were to really gather my thoughts, I would definitely tell everybody, focus on being a good person. You know, like you make a difference in someone else. You never know what someone else is dealing with. Spread positivity. Learn to love yourself. You know what I mean? It's definitely a tough world, and everything that we're dealing with it's kind of hard, but you matter. You make a difference. Everyone has a purpose in life, you know. And man, I feel like I get emotional thinking about it, because it's like you really talk to someone, and you can like I could talk to, and they can really be listening to me and think about like, damn.
And you could be really helping.
Yeah, really changing someone's life. So yeah, I definitely think that like peace, love, and positivity is like the best thing that everyone can focus on. You know, like, yeah, focus on you, and sometimes you do have to be selfish, but try to be the best that you can be for you and to everyone else as well. You know, it's like this world is a cruel place as it is. So
just add some love,
spread love, spread positivity. You know, that's basically it.
That's a great message.
Yeah. Peace, love, and positivity, man, for sure.
And I'm sure that someone out there, and again, even if this episode gets like one view, and as long as that like one view or listener, or listeners like gather something from this of value, and like something you said or something I said like impacts them to a point where we can't really understand and they can't understand themselves, like that's all that matters. Because like I think that that's the whole point behind doing this, is not only to just have the opportunity to like speak to great people, but also have those great people just kind of spread their like thoughts and like personal opinions, you know, founded on personal opinions, insights, and experiences that we talked about, like things that we could go deeper on in like the next episode, but like things that you experienced that maybe you wouldn't, you know, want your worst enemy to experience, you know, like things that just, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I've been through some pretty tough times, and I would never wish any, like, you could stab me in the back. You could, unless you kill my family. It's a different story, but you know what I mean? Like there's even like with like certain people in my life, like there's things that they've done to me, but I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. Like they can do whatever they want to me, but like, just me being who I am and being like, all right, I'm humble enough and caring enough and like a decent human being enough to be like, I would never portray that onto you, is enough for me. Like that purpose and that the meaning behind that is bigger to me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I hear what you're saying, and there could be it could be 1 view, it could be 2 views, 3 views. Shit, it could be 10,000 people. You know what I mean? But yeah,
More the merrier,
I think, yeah. I think like peace, love, and positivity, man. It's like we gotta. It's like a cruel world, like you said, and there's some fucked up shit out there. So like, if you can spread love and be yourself while you're doing that, you know, you don't know the impact that you can have in someone's life. So that definitely, to me, is very meaningful.
And also, I just remembered, and I apologize for kind of forgetting. Before we close out, you have a song that you want people to listen to, and you want to play.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you want to play it?
Yeah.
All right. So we'll play it, and then do you want how do you want to do it? Because we could literally schedule like another episode for like next week if you want, or in 2 weeks, or like whenever you're available, and then we could like just keeping that in mind. So like, do you want to play the song and then kind of end the episode like that, and then ask people for their opinions, or like how do you want to go about it? Because like you're in control right now.
Oh,
so like however you want to do it.
Honestly, I'm not sure actually. I think that this song is like a little bit more of like a turn up song and stuff like that. And like,
okay.
So I feel like whatever, man. I honestly don't even know.
If you fuck with it, then yeah, just right.
Yeah. If you think it's fire, like, you know what I mean? It's like,
if you think it's fire, then like leave some feedback, or like reach out to either Alex or I, and then just tell us like what you think of the song. Rate it honestly. Even if you hate it, like let us know. Like,
let me know.
We want
what
feedback
you hate.
and like criticism, because you're trying to grow as an artist.
Yeah. I definitely want to like. I want people to know like, all right, this is what I find dope. This is what I think you should work on, because I'm one of those type of people that like, I don't like Mr. Knows It All. I don't like those type of people. Like, I feel like you can always learn. You always, you know what I mean? So I know that I'm not the best. I know I'm not the best artist out there. And I know that I can always work on my craft and get better. So I love the feedback. Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't sit there and be like, wow, he said my song sucks. He's a hater. Or he said this was blah, blah. I take that.
To understand.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So
I want to know what you. I want to hear what Callie thinks about it.
Okay, but just so you guys know, so this was a remix of the Ramen and OJ.
Ramen and OJ by Jonah Lucas and Lil Baby. Yeah,
it's a fire song already.
Yeah, that beat is.
All right, so I'm gonna play it now. Let me just make sure that everything's recording.
This is like This is though, because here and there I watch reactions on YouTube video, because like some people break it down and catch the bars and da da da.
Do you want to do that then? So we could. Okay, so you're gonna signal to me when to pause, and then do you know how they do that on like Genius, where they go through like lyrics and stuff?
Yeah.
So we'll like play chunks, and then you
can ask me,
tell me
what
you meant by this, or
whatever it is. Or that'll be dope. That'll be it. You could like play it, and then you'll be like, what did you mean by this? Or can you replay that? Like, you know what I mean?
Or also, if you see a part that you really fucked with and you loved, writing, and you don't think people would understand or like catch on to like certain things, then you all right. So here we go. Ramen and OJ.
This is dope.
Remix, mix number 1. Let's go.
This beat goes so hard.
I need my peace, 100,000 without a degree. I've been HOMO, but I got a scheme. Counting this hundreds, I'm counting this green. I need the green. I have been grinding since I was 18. I got a family that I need to feed. I was a youngin' with so many dreams. I had to go get it as by any means. I lost my brother in 2016. It made me go harder than I hit rock bottom. I had to think smart if I want to succeed. Life is a trip and it's not what it seems. I count on my blessings. I'm happy to breathe. Happy with everything that I've achieved. I know that I'm different. I'm very unique. 100,000 without a degree. Not a day off. I've been grinding for weeks. I know that mama is
so.
Oh my God.
I didn't want to like.
Jesus, look at this. Yo, like, holy shit.
All right, so I like that line because like 100,000 without a degree. I didn't go to college, and actually,
Same.
yeah. So actually, I kicked out of high school.
You got kicked out of high school?
Yeah.
For what?
Bro, I wasn't showing up.
Oh.
Like, so I went through like growing up, like when I went through school and shit like that. I broke my ankle in like seventh grade or 8th grade, sorry, at Ant Street, and then they did me dirty and they held me back. So like,
oh shit,
when that happened, I saw everyone that we grew up with graduate, and I was a year back in 8th grade. Like, wasn't there a law that you couldn't be held back in 8th grade?
I don't know, maybe
some shit. I'm pretty sure. So they did me dirty, and so I went to the Board of Ed, and then I got transferred to Wilson. So I graduated at Wilson instead. But when I went to Eastside to high school, I still was a freshman, and all my my buddies and stuff like that were in like sophomore year already and stuff. So I learned, like, I started gaining this hatred for school, and like I was always told like, oh, you're an intelligent kid, like da-da-da. But like sophomore and like junior year, I kind of like went through this thing where I just didn't want to go to school. I wasn't showing up. I was going out with this girl. And we just never wanted to go to school. Wanted to like skip school,
skipping class,
yeah, and do all that shit. So I ended up getting kicked out, and that's like one thing that like one of the life experiences that really changed me. Like I went home after, like, I walked into school and I didn't even know I was kicked out. I walked into class and she's like, you're not in the school no more. Like, you're not, yo, yeah, it was crazy. You're like, she's like, yeah. So I walked out of there like, holy fuck, what am I going to do in my life? Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you're in school, you go to school every single day. You have kind of like a routine, a purpose, like go to school, get your education, until you graduate and all that stuff. So when I got kicked out junior year, because I was 18 already. So when I got kicked out, I was like, holy shit, what the fuck am I going to do? So like, I didn't go to school. Like, but now I make like $100,000. And without a degree, I think that line was fire. So I was like, I told you, like, when I heard this beat, I was like, I have to flex, but I also have to incorporate real shit. You know what I mean?
And like make it meaningful, which you did.
Yeah.
And it's crazy too, because like a lot of tuitions, like especially Ivy Leagues, maybe full ride like 4 years. I think it's like $60K per year, or
so
like some shit like that.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you go to school.
Fuck college, honestly.
Yeah. Yo, that's another one.
Don't stay
we should
have just like that.
No, I feel like if you want to be like a doctor or lawyer, specific shit, go to school.
Then obviously
you have no fucking
passion for those things,
then why? What's the point? You know what I mean? You're gonna get out of school and be in that 250,000 when you could have been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. But
all right.
I got knocked down, but I'm back on my feet. Remember those days I was dying to eat. Now I look back and I still can't believe I made it this far and I caught me a beam. Hop in my car and I don't need no keys. I ride by myself cause I don't need a team. Too many times that we're plotting on.
Wait. I made it this far and I caught me a beam.
Yeah. Now,
and like that's a double entendre because like a beam of light maybe too.
Yeah. So I was like, now I look back and I still can't believe I made it this far and I caught me a beam. But it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, and then hop in my car and I don't need no keys. Like, the horns, just push to start. And then it's like, I ride by myself because I don't need a team. And I just kept playing on but
yo, that's fire.
She did me dirty and fucked up my pee. She had to go cheat. It's fucked up, I seen what I seen. I've been so hungry and I'm ready to feast. Do not compare where you cannot compete. I can rap better than all these MCs. I said what I said and I say what I mean. I don't got time to be seen doing OT on OT. I don't be sipping on lean. I don't be rocking Supreme. I don't be out in the streets. I just been focused on me. That's how it's supposed to be. I don't know how they could sleep. Everything I do's OD. I am a working machine. I just repeat and repeat. They cannot do my routine. Humble as fuck, but I know I'm a beast. I cut her off of that bitch for the streets. I don't fuck with snakes, man. I keep it a G. I keep it 1 down. I do not follow the crowd. I have been ghost for a while. Focused on buying a house. I know big bro will be proud. I can sit down with a smile. They cannot copy my style. They cannot fuck with me now. I'm coming up. I refuse to go down. I'm from the bound and I'm rapping loud. I need my peace. Count on my blessings. Breathe. Do not compare where you cannot compete. You don't know why.
Do not compare where you cannot compete. That shit's.
That was a nice little.
Counting the screen. I have the HOMO, but I got a screen. I can't go back to the way that I was. I can't take back all the love. I was down bad, but I've been looking up. This was all planned, man, this shit isn't luck. I got a flex as I came from the slums. I said enough is enough. There is nothing to discuss. I'm a different kind of breed. Some of y'all are kind of sus. Crazy all the shit I seen. I might have to call your bluff. Roll a little bit of weed. Take some puffs and then I sleep. Wake up, conquer all my dreams. I've been doing this for years.
Oh my
since
God.
I was a little kid.
Oh, chills again right there. Like, I'll wake up and conquer all my dreams.
Yeah.
I love it when like rappers and just artists like do that. Like they do contrast, you know, like either in like music, paintings. Like that's the most powerful thing. It's like it's like something that seems like it's like it doesn't belong there. It's like you wake up and then you conquer your dreams. Like it's just that play on the word. Like I think that's powerful.
Yeah. And it's like how I told you. Like there's days where I don't feel like doing like getting up. You know what I mean and stuff. But
you do it anyways.
I push through it, and it's like a routine. So we're at a point where I'm like, I know this is gonna be there. It's for the bigger picture. It's for somewhere down the line. So I wake up and I'm conquering my dreams, and it may not seem like I'm conquering them right now. It like, you know what I mean? Like you go and you work 8 hours or whatever, and it may feel like all right,
patience.
You know what I mean? Yeah, these 8 hours might whatever. I worked 8 hours or I worked in the day, but if I keep doing long term, you know what I'm conquering my dreams. I'm really, you know what I mean? So
and I just thought about like another meaning. So I think it's actually like a triple entendre, really, because waking up in terms of just like opening your third eye type of thing. You know, like waking up and just realizing exactly what you said is like it's a long-term game. You know, like everybody wants to conquer their dreams and stuff, but they're still asleep.
Yep.
That's crazy, yo. Oof. Yo, that's fucking crazy. That's fire.
Rapping since I was a jit, stacking up all of my checks. Look all the shit that I did. I know that life is.
Let me just say that your voice and cadence, like everything is just crazy.
Really?
Crazy. And again, like similar to you, like I'm not good at receiving compliments, and I also don't like give compliments lightly. It should like sounds like well mixed. It sounds legit.
Think so?
Yeah.
I appreciate that, man.
Like it doesn't sound like a SoundCloud rapper, you know, like a person that's on the come up. It sounds like something that maybe like I'm just waiting for Joyner to like jump in on this, you know, like I'm just like waiting for like someone else to like jump in on this.
Oof,
yo, like, it could happen. Yo, one thing that I really believe in is the power of storytelling and like the power of like video, right? Yeah. So let's say like if you got this song and you sat down one day and you just like really like got, you know, like pen to paper and just figured out a narrative and figured out like a story, like a little film that you want to create. And then you reach out to like maybe a professional videographer, photographer, someone, and you like negotiate a deal, whatever it is. And you gather a team and you create like a video and then you tag like Joyner and you tag whoever.
Crazy that you're saying that because I showed one of my friends and he said, you need a music video for this.
Yes,
He's like, dude, if you had a music video
like
for this,
yesterday. I'm serious, yo. I swear to God. Because, yo, like, that's what really, like, gets you. Like, if it's creative and unique and, like, garners people's attention and people are, like, even surprised, like, holy shit, like, that's Alex from Newark and he created that, like, that fucking video. Like,
yeah.
Like, it could easily pop off just like that. And then you, like, tag Joyner, tag whoever. And that's how he got the collab with Will Smith. That he made a song dedicated to him, paying homage. And then Will Smith was like, yo, like, this guy's tight. Like, this guy's dope. Yeah. And then Jaden signed off on him too. And so like, yo, like Joyner's like, Jaden was the one that introduced him to his dad. And it's just like, it's that degree of like, you know, of like who you know. But seriously, like music video, like by next episode, so like by like next week, you should have a music video already, by the way. And then we'll come.
If anybody wants to help me out with videography with that, I mean, shit. You could fucking be the.
I could help out for sure. Like I
would even pay you to edit it, bro. I mean,
no paying at all. But, but like I'm like super limited in like skills and camera, but I'll do whatever I can to help. And like I could see, dude, like, I could see this like really like I don't know, just storytelling.
Yeah.
And like that's what I want to do with like the clothing brand, for example. It's like creating like even photo shoots.
Shit, imagine if I was wearing that on the music video.
That would be fucking crazy. And then like Joyner's like, yo, like what's that fresh shit you're wearing? It's like
word, right?
Listen, I'm gonna sign you, but before I sign you, like I just want to know where you got that from. It's like, oh, like
that'd be lit. That would be lit.
It was all right. Let's get back.
Bitch, they don't know why I have been, the sacrifices that I did, all the things I manifest, certain things you can't forget, all the lessons that I faced, all the things that people said, promises that weren't kept. I don't like to play pretend, I kept it real from the get, I am as real as it gets. Wake up and I say amen, I give it my all and then do it again. I am not perfect and nobody is, I feel like I'm cursed but I know it's a gift. Always at work, man, they said I'm obsessed, being broke is something I cannot accept, I cannot settle for less. I know that life is a test, going hard until my death. I need my peace, count on my blessings. Do not compare what you cannot compare. You don't know where I've been, you don't know what I've seen. Know where I've been, you don't know what I've seen. 100,000 without a thousand, counting the screen.
I really like that too.
The chorus?
Yeah. It just like goes perfectly with the like the beat and like the like outro. Like it like sounds
right.
That beat is crazy.
I
too.
know, right?
Oh my
Yo, when I
God.
fucking heard it, I was like, I gotta hop on it. I got. You know what's crazy? I think I did the song in like 5 hours.
See, how are you gonna tell me that you wrote this and like did the song in 5 hours? See, it's not being cocky, but I think that when you're talented to that extent, like you have to kind of like really like wake up and just recognize it and just like pursue, like even if you're scared of like what may happen, again, I'm no one to like give you any advice for anything, but like what I would kind of like want to see you do maybe is just pursue it as much as you can, because like really like creating a music video, I think that could, I don't know, dude, like there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential. You never know.
I hear you, and I appreciate, like you said, I'm not the best at taking compliments either. So
but like some people deserve it for sure.
I appreciate that, man.
And this is super fire. Honestly,
and it's crazy because I've just been holding on to it. It's like,
nah, you should easily look. I listened to his name is Token. Yeah. So I listened to Token's remix of J. Cole, and honestly, like it was good, but it's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But this is like something that I would bump to. Easily. Yeah, especially if I know you and I kind of like know your story, and like that's how, you know, all of these artists that we've grown to respect, like Kendrick, Drake, even Mac Miller, J. Cole, we all kind of respect them at this level because they've been super vulnerable, and this is like super vulnerable. Like this is raw stuff. Like you talk about your brother, you talk about grinding, your work ethic. Like you just literally, if I listened to the song before even having this podcast, I would already know, like not all of you, but I would have like
some piece,
an understanding of like who you are.
Yeah.
And it's not like just, you know, like lean and just like you said, like I don't drink lean, I don't whatever. Like you're just whatever.
Yeah.
You just keep going and you focus on what really matters.
Appreciate that, man.
But you should definitely, like, I'm telling you, yo, like, because I hate seeing wasted potential. That to me is the saddest thing ever.
Yeah, when you see someone like have talent and you know that it's there, and you know that if they like keep pursuing it and keep working on their craft, they can definitely get, you know, a lot of recognition and far in life.
Not just one talent though, like similar to how like Mac was, like Mac Miller, he would, similar to what you said, he would play various instruments. He would hop on like he would buy vinyls and then like sample it on the spot and just create beats and create these songs just and melodies.
A genius in general.
Everything, right? Yeah. And like that's multiple talents. And you draw, you beatbox. And I remember even as kids, like I remember seeing a few of your drawings and stuff, and you were always like super talented.
Yeah, I still draw, yeah.
Exactly. So like you have to like kind of like ask yourself and just like turn inward and say like, why have I been given all these gifts and stuff? Like why do I have these artistic inclinations?
Honestly, I do ask myself that a lot. Yeah. And sometimes I'll sit down and I'll be like, you know, like, damn, I feel like drawing. And when I sit there and I draw, I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing with this? You know what I mean? Like, what is, like, am I just gonna let it sit there and go to waste?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Just share.
And that's why that's another reason why I tell you you're inspiring, because I've been wanting to start like a YouTube video and been wanting to do all these things, and for some reason I push back sometimes, and I like you said, I'm my biggest critic, and I was like, but I'm not gonna go nowhere with this, or this is not gonna work out in my favor. And I feel like that's one thing I need to work on, because like I said in the song, I am not perfect and nobody is. You know, so I feel like sometimes people are putting each other's lives to, you know what I mean, to grow. Maybe like,
for sure.
Maybe me and you fucking rekindled after fucking 11, 12 years. We can grow. Like, we can about to fucking blow on YouTube, your podcast, and share. Maybe like, so, or, you know, and then like you kind of push me to like, yo, you know, like really do that. Like I'm telling you, bro.
No,
so
for real.
So you know what I mean? Like, so me fucking sitting here and acknowledging, I suck at taking compliments, but I really appreciate it though.
And like, why now, right? Like why are we meeting up just now? Why is everything just, I don't know, man. Like I 100% agree. And I know that it goes both ways, because like, even if you don't believe it, even if it's whatever, but the inspiration comes both ways. Cause like, just like I told you, every guest, like every person I meet, even like on the street or whatever, like I try to learn from them. I try to whatever, just
take apart their brain.
Yeah, like
I do that all the time too.
Take apart, yeah.
Even at work, there's a couple guys at work, millionaires, and it's like, I don't mean to drift off topic, but like when it comes to like investing and stuff like that, like there's this guy that worked there for 40 years, and he retired actually, and he was telling me like, look, put this amount of percentage in your 401k, do this. So when I talk to these people, it's the same way with you. When I all day today pick apart someone's brain and really understand, you know, like I've learned a lot today. You know what I mean?
Me
like,
too. Yeah.
So it goes both ways, like you're saying. It's like it's an inspiration, and everything from me like is genuine. I'm not like most people who are like sitting here and just putting on a facade and just saying shit just to say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I repeated even before we started recording.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, bro. For real. Like
likewise.
It goes fucking both ways. And once you realize and you really are open to what someone is doing, how they're doing it, and what, you know what I mean, their whole plan and everything, and you see it, and it's just so easy. It's so easy to fucking just connect. You know what I mean? It's just so easy to really understand. You know what I mean? It's like you're here in your basement, and you're working on your craft. And bro, I look around and I'm telling you, this shit, I've said it over like 30 times already, right? This shit is fire, bro.
I really appreciate it. And that's another thing that we share a lot, is that we can't take compliments at all. But no, like, listen, like I just wouldn't overthink it at all, you know, and I'm beyond excited, not just, you know, to obviously be able to like reconnect and like do this podcast, but this is not going to be like a one done thing. Like, like we like talk now and then we're never going to, like, I'm excited to see. Like,
I'm gonna fucking bother you, bro.
No,
I'm gonna bother the fuck out of you.
I'm gonna bother you too for like creative ideas and stuff, because dude, like
for real.
It's super, I'm telling you, like it's super hard to come across people who like have that creative inkling, you know, like who just think differently.
Yeah.
And it's corny to say, and it sounds super pretentious too, like we're artists, like we're creative people and stuff. But
I don't even mean to cut you off, but that poster is so fire. I was looking at it this whole time, and I was like, I kind of want to draw it.
Mac Miller.
Yeah. I kind of want to, like, because I have color pencils at home, and like color is everything.
Yeah.
Like you can draw something in black and white, whatever, but as soon as you put color into it, and that just,
it's crazy. Yeah,
the colors on there
is actually one of my favorite ones, and I just keep it behind me there because it kind of shows up on camera. And I like to think, and this is gonna sound kind of corny, but I like to think that Mac is like looking over us, like as we're having conversations. So like that's what these, like all these things represent. It's like it's a channeling of inspiration. It's a channeling of just like
creativity,
greatness. You know, like there's like Basquiat, there's Jay-Z, there's Beyonce. There's like all these artists and
fire ass albums over there.
Yeah, like hits and stuff, and just like basically pieces, like bodies of work that kind of changed my life and continue to change and just move me forward and stuff.
Word.
But yeah, so with that being said, please leave a review of what you think of Alex's remix.
I would really appreciate it.
And just feedback. It really
real
helps.
Feedback.
Like don't hold back.
Hey man, it was good.
It was
Okay, yeah, I appreciate it. It was good.
Yeah,
but,
because
like what did you like? What did you like? You know what I mean?
It just helps with like perfecting your craft, just like you said.
Yeah.
And just perfecting who you want to be as an artist and just growing as a person.
I appreciate you even playing it out on your fucking shit, man. For real.
Oh, and next time you come on, like we can like play like all 5 songs that you've been holding from the public, and like do kind of like a leaked thing, you know, like an exclusive Meraki release. And then 5 years from now, you'll look back and you're like wildly successful and like touring all over the world and stuff. And having like openers, like people like up and coming artists, other up and coming artists from Newark opening for you and stuff.
Damn.
And then you'll like look back at this podcast and be like, oh shit, like at that time I was still thinking about making the music video. I was still thinking about releasing the songs. I was still thinking about releasing my drawings, and now I, you know, whatever it is.
Yeah. And it's crazy because those 5 years we're gonna snap and it's gonna be here.
It's gonna fly.
Yep, we're gonna be there. But one thing for sure, I know that in 5 years, we're not gonna be strangers for sure.
No, we're not.
Hell no.
Because I already feel like we're not strangers anymore. You know.
I know, bro. I told you before I even fucking stepped in here. I feel like I already know like where Cali is, or who's Cali. You know what I mean?
Crazy,
which is crazy because it's all over like. Fucking
content and social media and YouTube and whatever it is. Yeah.
But I haven't even like seen you face to face in over 11 years.
Yeah, it's
wild.
And with that, we'll end this episode. So hopefully you guys took something of value from this. Expect another follow-up episode very soon. And yeah, thanks for watching and thank you for coming. And
thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
It was great.
Hell yeah, one for the books for sure.
One for the books. All right, guys. So this episode will be available on, well, if you're watching this, it's available on YouTube. But if you also want to listen to it, it's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and everywhere else you get your podcast fix. And yeah, peace out.